Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. Okay, this person requested a natal chart reading. They took advantage of the sale that we have going on. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now just to say everybody's good. The first person in the natal chart, they always get the free. This is a free report. Has everything you need to know about astrology, angels, all the houses are explained as well. But that is a free report, because sometimes people contact me and say, oh, this is misspelled and that. Yeah, but exactly, it's a free report. So you didn't pay for it. It's just for if you want to use it. All right. And then I want to make sure. Now, the whole idea is when you get your natal chart is to actually study it. Because that would be the main reason why you get it. And that's why I fully explain it. But then you could just be taking notes even while I'm talking, taking notes. And the good thing about it is this: you could stop it. Let's say I'm talking about something you feel is not pertaining to you, you can just fast forward it. But you should always focus on your chart as opposed to, hey, why did he say that? Is he talking about me and all that? Because that's not benefiting anybody. That's actually pulling you backwards. So you want to just use it to benefit yourself. That's the main thing. And you got to always remember, if you were watching television and you walked in, a guy was saying something, you wouldn't go, hey, is he talking about me? It's TV. This guy's talking to a lot of people who's ever watching the channel. So that's the thing to try to keep in mind. Because it's a beautiful thing to have your natal chart. It's going to show you good points, challenges, things to work on. It's just a great thing to have. But if your mindset is not on what I just said, then some people get the natal chart. If it says so, it's a 3-hour chart. They get a 3-hour chart, and within 20 minutes, they're already contacting me, looking for a fight or looking for something. And I'm already saying to myself, wow, if that's a 3-hour chart, you already contacted me, you're missing the whole point. So that's why I do my part, make sure it's thorough. And talk slow, try to be clear, make sure whatever I'm saying is factual and beneficial to your chart. Your part is a home in on what's good for you. And if I do start talking about something else, if you feel like that doesn't apply to you, you can just fast forward. It's that easy. It doesn't have to be the drama, but the hype. Because a lot of people are going to twin flames right now, and they're finding out that that's very hard, that's very drama and hype. And a lot of people are going through things in life, and they find out that's kind of hard. So you don't have to add extra stress to your life because it's not that serious. The main thing is you have that chart. It's kind of like if I gave you $1 million. Like I pulled up in this big truck, and I said, hey, it's $1 million in that truck, but I'm just letting you know right now, we pulled that off a farm, so it's going to be a kind of dirt back there. You might got to cut some dead animals. And, there's a lot of stuff you might not really want to deal with. You ain't even going to be listening to me. You're going to be running back to that truck. You said it's mine. It's mine. I don't care what's back there. This is mine. You understand? So no argument. The main thing you'll be worrying about is me getting out of your way so you could dive in. But then you get the natal chart, and then you're still trying to reel me in. So got to change that attitude a little bit to make this work for you, because I can't do everything. And I'm not going to, I'm not getting pulled into nothing. I got to. I've done my part. I always make you have my word, which I've always done. You'll definitely have what you need if you get your angel card and stuff like that. Now, if it is an angel card reading, which it might be, angel questions, you might ask a question let's just say you ask 3 questions, and you said, "Is so and so my twin flame?" And they go, "Yeah," and then you say, "How do I get out of separation? Because we're in separation. How do I get out of separation with my twin?" And they tell you, study or think more positively, or they give you some advice. And then you go, you ask a question that pertains to your future with whoever. That's kind of like they just told you. See, this is angel guidance. This is what I'm talking about. Learn how to work with your chart. This is angel guidance. So if you're coming to angel guidance, you're asking the person. You're asking a person to You're asking the angel to answer your question. I'm sorry, I got a lot of stuff on my mind. If you just know I got so much stuff on my mind, something just came into my head. So if this is angel guidance, you're asking the angel to guide you. An angel just did. So if the angel says focus on studying, or focus, this is your twin, but you're in separation. That's what you're focusing on. But if you're still asking questions about something that's down the line, you understand it's not going to go together. And it's my job to tell you what they say. Because like I said, anybody can sit up here and just blow smoke up your ass. I don't do that. I tell you the truth. And when you're dealing with people that really understand that there's not going to be a problem, but you'll have people that are just looking for a fight. And I've had them do that. And they'll go through everything just looking for something to argue with or to make trouble. So that's why I try to explain this up front so it's understood. All right, I'm going to put on pause. When we come back, we will be beginning the natal chart. All right. See, I wanted to make that clear because that seems to be a big misunderstanding people are having. So if it's an angel guidance or angel card reading, the ideal is that they give you the guidance, they give you the suggestions, and you follow it. That's the whole idea. Otherwise, that's why they call it angel guidance. Now, and it was kind of funny. The reason why, let me just tell you why I stopped, because this is important. Like I said, you got a lot of people that they just, I don't know. I don't even know why they get involved with this. I really don't, because then they just start arguing like they're really out there. It's like, why would you come? You won't go to a foot doctor, and when he tells you why your foot's in pain, you get mad at him. And that's what I see. I'm not making this up. So I have to explain this. So it's people involved now, and that phrase that I was saying, they used it and put it in the head, in the title, and I was wondering why they did that. Because that's the biggest thing. See, I don't mind going toe to toe, but like people always lie because I'm pretty thorough. So I don't mind, people trying to put me on a microscope because I know I'm pretty thorough, so I don't worry about stuff like that. I just hate when they lie. That pisses me off. So when you see me somewhere getting vented, it's not that I can't take correction or nothing. It's I hate, why are you lying? Just tell the truth. And like when you've been doing this as long as I have, and like I said, I'm a preacher, ordained, but I'm also just a preacher by birth. They're not gonna let you get away with that. That's like when you watch Tupac. That's a preacher, cause he's not gonna let you sit there and lie on him. He'll wig and start spitting on you and stuff. They don't play that. That's the one thing you ain't gonna do. And they're not worrying about what you talking about because they put their trust in God. So when I said that about, I forget my exact phrase I said, but because I was just wondering why they took that phrase and put it in the heading. Well, are you trying to set me up? Because why are you putting, like, you should put my name in the heading since she called me out. So why are you putting that in the heading? But even again, then something just said to me, well, that actually works better in your favor. In a way. Because again, my whole thing say Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. So obviously you're going to be dealing with archangels or archangel cards. So if you deal with archangel cards and now you're upset because they said, okay, don't ask us about question number 3 because that's a future question. You ask about question 1 and 2. Not saying your question number 3 can't get answered, but they're saying right now you need to focus on this. So that makes like I'm not looking for war. That's why that makes, because I wouldn't go to somebody that's an angel card reader. It's angel guidance. So you're saying, yeah, let the angels guide me. So the angels give you some advice and you get pissed off, throw a hissy fit, and then try to make trouble. Then why would you come here? So the reason why it kind of threw me off, because I'm like, well, why did they take that part of it and put it in the title? Any reason. They could be trying to screw me some type of way. Or that's kind of like saying, yeah, it says it right in the title, so she can't act like she didn't know what she was doing. So, I don't know. It's just one of them things. So that kind of caught me out there, so my mind started thinking about that. But other than that, like I said, I try your natal chart will definitely be thorough. That's why I'm getting all of this out now, and then we're going right into the chart. And then that'll definitely be thorough, but then that's up to each person to concentrate on their chart. Not try to tell me, hey, listen, what you said about the 4th house, that's wrong. All I'm doing is telling you what the definitions are from the stars, from the charts, and you'll see me use references. So it's not just me. So like I'd be mad too, if it was just one guy saying it, because he could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But you got like 3 different people saying, and one person flipped out, and I hate, like, we were kind of like friends, and she was always like getting some type of reading or something. But she requested a natal chart and got it, and then she got it, and she only listened. It was like a 4-hour chart. She listened to it for like 15, 20 minutes, and then she wanted to debate it and talk. I said, "Oh no, I just did 4 hours on that chart. I'm not debating and talking about nothing. It's your chart. Well, it's wrong about that." And I know her personally. I'm like, "Oh no, it's not." Like, I knew personally. You know what I'm saying? Personally, from the heart, she was like that. That's like, you see, she's trying to argue right now. See, you just got the chart and you're trying to argue. You do. It is you. But I ain't going to sit there and keep going back, because me and her used to go back and forth sometimes. Even we be arguing through the emails and stuff, because she just love a good debate. And that day I was just tired. I was just tired of her. Like, all you do is debate. Why do you keep asking for angel readings and stuff if you're going to debate everything? And I mean, like I said, if this was marketing, I would be like, hey, I love her. Great money. But I do this to help. I really do. And I'm glad I do. That's why, like, I'd rather go down fighting. I'd rather go down fighting for something that's real, even if the people don't understand what I'm doing, they don't care, or they're fighting me. I'd rather go down that way than go down knowing I rip people off, because I have a conscience. I just can't live that way. That's more important to me. And I think really when you understand spirituality, when you really understand it, that means you really put God first. And if God is who he says he is, then you ain't never got to worry about how you want to eat and all that. But you got to be real about it. So it's stuff like that. And if nobody understands it but you and God, that's all you need. If God understands it, that's all you need. And all this other little petty back and forth and all this foolishness that the devil gonna keep doing to get you distracted, to try to pull you into something. The more you grow with God, the more you know to cut that off. That's why I said it's certain things I don't tolerate. I can't, because you have too many people that don't want to do their part, but they think once you have the chart, you have gold. And I said, you don't have to focus on nothing else. Focus on your first house, second house, third. That's what you got to worry about. If you want to hear nothing else, just fast forward. That's the good news. But you can focus on other stuff if you want to. But you got to remember, let me just explain that. This is for everybody listening. This is for everybody listening. And these natal charts go anywhere from 150 and up. If you really want to be honest. See, it's easy to call somebody out, but they don't want to listen to the facts. So it's like everybody's helping everybody, and everything's confidential. So nobody's trying to put nobody on blast, but everybody's helping because there's a lot of people listening. And like I said, if I wanted to make it marketing, I could try to make it marketing. I know it will work because it's just human nature. Oh, he don't do it like he used to. I can't hear it publicly no more. But I don't do all that. I'm trying to help even the people that don't get it. And that's all I've done all my life was ministry. So I'm just saying all of this now and getting it all out in the front to make that clear. And I hope everybody that's listening realizes it. It's a great idea to get your natal chart. But you also have to understand it's your responsibility once you get it to study it and everything. Now, if you choose not to, that's totally your business. But I can't find all this information out, do all this research, explain it to you in the video, and then have you contact me asking questions about it. That just don't make no sense to me. That's like just being real lazy. Or getting upset. And making out like I'm the bad guy when you're the one that's not doing their part. So I hope I made that clear. And again, I will duke it out. I will put my trust in God, not man. So be wise. If you get your chart, now you got it. You can start studying it. Just go house by house. Same with natal chart. Now, if you ask all these questions and the angels basically tell you to focus on twin flame reunion, then that's what you should focus on. But each question is different. It really is. And each person is different. But some people will just be pushy. They like to be pushing head on. And the angels don't appreciate that. And the first thing angels going to try to do is teach you patience. That's what the reading I just did today. That was one thing Joe Field showed up and said, patience. Now some people go, you know what? I'll try to be patient. Other people go, that's not what I asked you. This is what I asked you. Okay, now you're trying to bully the situation. I just said what it was. You're not bullying me. You're not bullying these angels. Oh, well, if you don't do this, I'll do that. Well, then go ahead and do it then. because you're in this is angel guidance. They're supposed to be guiding you, not you telling them. And when we get past that, it's a beautiful thing. But you are gonna have to deal with a lot. Like I said, it must be a nice amount for me to be talking about it. But I do think sometimes you just got to put the foot down, and that's why I said what's going on now. It had to happen, you know, because I could have ducked it if I wanted to, but it had to happen because we got to get this shit solidified. Because otherwise, everybody gonna come, do what they want to, and then cry victim when ain't no victim. When I'm at, if you saw everything, I'd be the victim. Because this person, I try to help extremely well. So if you ever know any of your relatives, if you ever hear them go, the devil is a liar, I'd be like, amen. They ain't lying to you. All right, we are now ready to go into the first house. All right, this is Mercury in your first house. First house is how the world sees you. It's Aries. Mars used to rule Aries. So it can be very intense, especially with Pluto and Scorpio there. Very intense. Can be deep. Can be aggressive. Extremely focused. Now, Scorpio rules your 8th house. So as I'm explaining what Scorpio rules, then you know when we get to your 8th house, we won't explain it again. That's why we tell everybody to just be taking notes. Because that way when you get to your 8th house, you got your notes. So when we get to your 8th house, we won't explain Mars or Pluto again because we're going to do that right now. Give me a moment. We're now going to pull something up for retrogrades. As soon as I pull this up for retrogrades, I will deal with it. Another thing I'm going to say, just for people, when you really work with spirit, if you notice these angels tell you patience, even if you was a Christian, there's going to be a lot of times you're going to want stuff, and the answer is going to be patience. That doesn't make the person a fake. I mean, the fact that they put the trust in the angels shows that they real. Somebody that's always talking about money and marketing and all that, that's who's fake. That's why they say this whole planet makes me laugh. Their whole definitions is just backwards. So that's why I said, when you come to this channel, and I've always made that perfectly clear, you have to, what do you want? You just want somebody to make you feel good? It probably wouldn't be me, because I'm going to tell you what on the chart. I'm not being mean or nothing. Like, I'm not. All of us got stuff to work on. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about putting nobody down. I'm talking about just, if that's what the chart says, I got to say what the chart says. I can't sit here and go on. Make you, like, it's not that type of thing. It's to find out what's on the chart. This is more like a classroom. That's what I'm saying. This ain't no flirt thing. I ain't trying to talk to nobody on no phone for no flirting. It's not that type of thing. I meet a lot of people that want to do that, and I tell them over and over again, it's not me. Like a female said, "Sweetie," I said, "Hold up, my name ain't Sweetie. My name is Gary." So this is business. It's like a classroom. If you really want to learn, then this is the place to go. But all that drama stuff and all that little crazy stuff, they ain't got nothing to do with spirit. Like you act like you're looking for the spirit, but you want some satanic, like you want some temptation stuff, or if you can't get no temptation or flirtation or notation, then you're gonna run and do this. Then you're gonna try to start a situation or defamation. So that's what we're looking for. If you really want to learn your chart, this is, to my opinion, it's the best place to be. All that other stuff, and even if you got a problem, but you're willing to just settle down, I'll work with you. But the crazy stuff, I'm like, oh, come on. So what I'm finding is my page on retrograde. I just got to get to this chart and find my page on retrograde, and then we'll be moving in. All right, there it goes. All right, so I know we still got to explain Scorpio, but I'm gonna do a few things. I think I want to do Pluto retrograde first. All right, we'll do Scorpio first. Now again, this rules your 8th house, and Pluto rules Scorpio. So your first house is your 8th house. Scorpio can be about debt, like you owe money, taxes, the IRS, graveyards, anything related to graveyards, power struggles, great intensity, the soul, twin souls, great intensity, great impact. A Scorpio tends to be doubtful, but once they get to know you and they see that you're honest, they'll open up to you, and they're very loyal at that point. Highly sexual, like transforming. Death or birth, death, resurrection, or birth, death, rebirth, or regeneration. Soul matters, primordial activity, sexual activities. Holistic science, alchemistry, different sciences, technology, obsession, addictions, drug abuse, any type of abuse. Could be violence, like I said, stalking, creepy, coolie stuff, like graveyard, tombstones, other worlds, supernatural. All right. Bank investigations. Some people be agents for other people or managers. That's in here. Psychic stuff, spiritual stuff, mysteries. Because they're like Scorpio and Pluto are all about secrets and mysteries. All right, so that is in your. And as we go through it may be other things we will of course repeat. but that's as we go through. Now, before we do Pluto retrograde, I'm going to see if we can find Curious retrograde online. All right, let's see. Okay, we're going to look at that in a little bit. All right, so we know what Scorpio in the first house, all the possibilities. So now we're going to do Pluto retrograde. Now that AC is your ascendant. That's where the sun was over the horizon when you were born. It's also called your rising sign. And then EP is the east point. And again, that's just another soul location regarding the sun when you were born. All right, give me a second. So now we're looking at Pluto retrograde. Pluto retrograde brings change with fresh start and dead ends. During that period, things we hang on to the most can probably be suddenly taken away, causing us to reevaluate what we must change. Can occur through destruction and rebuilding of rejuvenation and regeneration. Outside forces are at work as well, including governmental upheaval, weapons, and war. Change can often be difficult, and sometimes being forced into change is the only way to push some people forward in life. And that's why I say sometimes something will come into your life and you'll be pissed off, Because you'll be like, if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't happen. But sometimes you need that change. And it takes that. That's why I said Pluto can be something that hits you externally, but it's going to change you internally. And sometimes it might be for the better. But that's why I said the more people grow with spirit, they'll learn and they won't overreact to everything that happens. Okay, Pluto past life. If Pluto is retrograde in your chart, you face issues of control. Like I said, that's in power struggles. Feeling as if you must control all things around your life. And that's what happened to me. See, I knew whatever was going to happen, I could prove it. Just watch the videos on this channel. Because I know it was coming. And they had been warning me for some stuff like this for almost like a month and a half. But they let me know when it was coming. And I didn't even watch my horoscope that day. But as I was just deleting emails, I seen out on the corner of my eye, 2 of my horoscopes were like, you going to be the liar today. Like I knew I was going to have a problem in junk. And I knew who I was dealing with because I had issue with her before. But the Divine Mother already told me, go with it. Said it's a fool's journey. I'm taking you on a journey. And the fool just got to trust the mother. And she's like, just trust me. I was like, all right, I can do that. Because I've come a long way. You know, when I first started out with this. Like, I can understand why people get, like, a little bit. But, I mean, it'd be like, they'd be really out of their mind. And, I mean, like, y'all act like I'm not, like, I'm a real dude. Like, you would see me in the street. Like, I'm not that Negro. I'm not the, you're not just going to say anything. And you darn sure ain't going to play me out like a sucker. You're not going to have me do all this shit. And you're going to flip it and then make me out to be the bad guy. Because you want some evil stuff. That junk don't happen. So, that's why I said that. I'm being as cool as possible. I let people know what it is up front. Don't play with y'all. I don't market nothing. I ain't trying to say no crazy stuff. I don't make no fake ass promises. So for somebody call me a frauder, we fighting. Like oh no. It's no more business. It ain't nothing to talk about, bro. I'm old school with that. You don't just come out your mouth with no slick shit. So so that's what I'm saying. But these things are gonna happen anyway. And that's Pluto retrograde. And it may be for your benefit. Because you become a better business person instead of being, you know, so, oh, look at me, I'll help you. You got to realize not everybody's nice like you. So now, so, you know, you can't control everything. And that's what, as I said, that's why I fell back. Let the universe work it out. You know, I do my part praying and stuff like that. I had to make sure I had all my facts straight, which I did, and it took a minute because I ain't did stuff like that in a long time. So it took a minute for me to get my stuff together, but I'm highly thorough. But what the devil does, you can be ready for that fight, but they'll switch it. And that's why I said when I saw them switch, because they took my name out and put the thing in as in a title. And I said, why did they do that? So that looked like a setup. And that's why when I was reading, I just got quiet because I like, why the heck did they do that? Now that's a setup. All right. So they say that feeling, the need to control, is to the extreme and expense of other people as well. The person might make the mistake of holding on to a relationship so tight that you suffocate your partner, or holding on to past relationships, refusing to let go and let go and move on, and that's horrible. Because one thing, don't nobody, I know definitely no dude, but no female either. If we going out, I don't want to hear about your all that you still love them and all that. And especially when a dude like he married, like he living with his woman or whatever, and you still talking about he'll always be my first love, I always love him. But you want to date with me? I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I think if I did, because I stopped dating, I used to date all the time. But if I went back, I would be more realistic, because I already know a lot of that stuff is BS. And I was trying to keep my mouth shut because I thought, well, maybe if I just think positive, everything will work itself out. Whereas now I realize that's the worst mistake you can make, because they're gonna like a female's gonna bring you out. She's gonna make you talk. You gonna have to be like, yo, don't be talking about no dude on my. I don't nobody care about that dude. You can pay for your own meal and say and just get an argument and shit. But the funny thing is, you get an argument, but then she'll still be calling you tomorrow, and she'll probably like you better because she know you don't take no shit. But I ain't ready to go back yet. I don't know if I ever go back. It was the funnest time of my life, but the roughest time of my life. It's kind of like if you're a boxer and you like boxing, but it come a time you getting sick of getting punched in the face or all that working out and all that stuff. So that's how I feel about that whole dating thing. All right. So just don't hold on to past relationships. You know, it's a time and place for everything, but you don't want to be holding because the new is gonna come in and the new is gonna get sick of you talking about the past. Especially when you be talking about some dude that's married and stuff. Why would you even want that anymore? I mean, I understand feelings, but I wouldn't walk around telling nobody I still love my ex girl. She with her husband. And she's a mother, 3 kids and stuff. Yeah, and I still love her. I'm always gonna love her. And you sounding crazy and you sound like a stalker and stuff. All right. Now, from a past life perspective, you were probably ostracized from your family, community, or exiled from your home country. You may have been the scapegoat for the community and you stood alone for bad deeds that perhaps you didn't even commit. The past incarnation has left you feeling mistrustful of others, especially those close to you. To overcome these lessons, it's time to learn trust of yourself and of others. People are not out to get you in this lifetime. If you don't allow the manipulation of others to affect you, you're letting them control your emotions and your actions. So if you do allow the manipulations of others to affect you, then you're letting them control your emotions and your actions. So you must learn how to let the weaknesses of others slide off you. Don't give them the grip to hang on, and they'll be forced to find another to focus on. Use your knowledge and wisdom and of life. Use your knowledge and wisdom of the past as benefit to hone your instincts. Learn to avoid. Who to trust and most of all how to believe and trust in yourselves. They're trying to say learn how to use your experience to learn how to trust people. So that's how you overcome this Pluto retrograde. Now, so in the first house is some type of thing going on there. We're holding on to the past and maybe trust issues. They may have to do control issues. But now what does Kyrus say? Kyrus retrograde. When Kyrus is retrograde, it's a time when your nurturing will need to be turned inward. This celestial event, okay, I don't have to read that. So it's kind of like nurturing yourself, healing yourself. Kyrus retrograde does not abode well for relationships, especially if they are codependent in the first place. Now again, all that stalking and obsessiveness, that's all in that first house. Someone could unexpectedly withdraw their affections or try to break an emotionally unhealthy cycle by behaving dramatically different. Addictions and abusive patterns of relationships also tend to be more agreeable when Kyrus goes backwards in the sky. So they're saying if you got a Kyrus back, like obsession, addiction, and even any form of abuse, because abuse could be different. It could be physical, it could be talking. Even a mind games is abuse, manipulations. And it's all different ways of abuse. So they say romantic relationships will seem a little colder if your Chiron is retrograde. So Chiron retrograde is telling you to go inwardly, to unconditionally love yourself. And the reason why people don't pay too much attention to that because it's just the asteroid. So you got to go in and cultivate your ability to unconditionally love yourself. So that's what Curious is telling you. Retrograde, Curious retrograde is saying you got to learn how to unconditionally love yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna have trouble loving other people. All right. They said instead of being a fountain of sympathy and understanding for everyone else, focus. All right. Now, let me see. So instead of being a fountain of sympathy and understanding for everyone else, because sometimes we do that. Like if we're longing for something, we start serving people. But that's not good either, because then everybody's coming to you and everybody. That's why I said you have to have boundaries and you have to put things down or whatever. You have to say no for your own well-being. And whatever happens, if it's meant from, if you really believe what you're doing is from God, you gotta trust God. And that's why I said, I'm saying over and over again, this is not just bubblegum astrology. This is not just looking for love. This is like for spirit. Now you can choose whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to believe, but that's how I'm teaching it. So we have to understand that. So therefore, it shouldn't be no button heads, because I'm trying to help, and I'm not really out here for all that silly stuff. That's why I said the whole idea of social media, LOL. You'll never see me in no chat rooms. You'll never see me talking about like and subscribe and all that shit. I'm not marketing. This is like a ministry to me, and people do benefit. Some people do, probably more than some. So I'm not here for all that other silly stuff. Now, they said instead of being a fountain of sympathy and understanding for everyone else, focus on fulfilling your own needs. This is the best way to encourage others to do the same, and you'll be helping them by decreasing their dependent tendencies on you. Because, see, a lot of people don't understand, just being honest. See, it's saying her first house is going to have this codependency or obsession or addiction. And sometimes you just have people that just use you because they know they can get it from you. So they're saying stop it for your own better. Because sometimes in life you gotta move forward. And I mean, like I said, sometimes it's not easy for people to do, but you want to move forward, because as long as somebody can get it from you and you keep giving it to them, that's all you ever going to be to them. Okay, another consequence of Curious retrograde is poor crops. Poor crops. And that might even, like, we got a garden, might even be a yard. Curious is an agricultural goddess. Now, if you got Curious retrograde, all right. Now I gotta read it, cause she's being slick. Like, I'm not sure what she's doing. See, I think she meant to say Curious going backwards, because that's what she said. Like for Taurus, she says Curious going backwards. Gemini, Curious going backward. But for Aries, the one I wanted to use this one and another one, because your first house is ruled by Aries. But she meant to say going backwards. I could tell, even by what she's saying. So this is it. Curious retrograde in Aries, or since Aries rules your first house, Curious retrograde in your first house, and it is Curious going backwards or retrograde Curious will have a direct impact on your career and finances. Cash will be a little tighter. Be prepared to grin and bear it and work hard. You will just find everyone a little more anxious to be with in general. Your partner may experience more stress, and if you're single, you may have a little less money to spend on things like makeovers and dinners out with other people, with friends. Still, your boundless optimistic spirit will help you get these tough financial times, will help you get through these tough financial times. Now, Kira's retrograde in Scorpio. Many of you could receive news that a marriage or job promotion is delayed. If you're trying to get pregnant, you may have much luck. You may not have much luck with a Kira's retrograde. So it's not a good time to buy land or try your hand at a farm. And you might have a situation with pets. Now these are coulda, shoulda, maybe. Sometimes you just got to try. Plus, as you start to learn to be more spiritually and grow more spiritually, you'll have spiritual strength. And then you can also pray about stuff that'll help you. All right, that was Kira's retrograde. So that is your first house. All right, second house, Sagittarius. This is the money house. Sagittarius is about traveling, particularly long distance travel or religion or culture. And it can also be education. So any of that or all of that, even speaking a foreign language, has to do with your money and possessions. So this person may be somewhat cultured or classy, and that'll come across in their finances and possessions. And when we get to the ninth house, which is ruled by Sagittarius, we'll probably learn a little bit more. Or anywhere where we see Taurus, we might learn a little bit more as well. Okay, third house is Capricorn. I'm just checking everything out. And you have no retrogrades. Now the thing that looks like a little horseshoe, a little hook with the aura, that's normal. That should be retrograde. That's your true north node. All right. So your third house is filled with activity. All right. So, well, your first house is ruled by Gemini. There's going to be short travel, your community or environment, your siblings, younger education, communications, thought, multitasking. Okay, Capricorn and a third house. Your third house is also your creativity house as well. All right, now we're looking at Capricorn in the third house. Okay, it says you think a lot about how you pursue things. So this is the challenge with a Capricorn placement. You want to think and talk about your goals, but you may be challenged in actually doing anything to get them moving forward. You then get upset because you don't have any tangible results. So you have to really tell yourself what you want to do and then take the necessary actions. So they say once you start moving to take action, then you'll start to find that any knowledge, information, or assistance you need will also come forth to help you achieve your desired results. And they say you don't need to know before you take the action. They say just take action. And they say that's the way the universe is built. Things will come into play once you take those actions. Okay, give me one moment. All right. Now, your third house is the house of brotherhood. The Capricorn sign must align itself with mankind to share knowledge and to share experiences with others. And this is also your media houses. It could be like social media, any way you use it. So they say that the Capricorn quality is an introvert quality. So it might prevent you from sharing this knowledge. It says Capricorn, when studying and learning things, needs to work at its own pace, which is generally slower than others. Now, this does not mean that Capricorn is not as brilliant or as understanding of the knowledge that it is seeking. Capricorn should learn not to compare itself with others and feel at loss if they learn more quickly. So Capricorn shouldn't feel bad if others seem to learn more, because Capricorn likes to observe more and take things in. But what's wrong with Capricorn is they may just do more thinking than actually moving and taking action. So it's a Capricorn is not really what you would call it. They don't necessarily want to be involved with others, but when you're working with others, you got to really get involved and learn the do's and don'ts. I guess they would call that social etiquette, and that changes because like people between 13 and 15 ain't gonna be the same social etiquette as somebody 18 to 20 or 22 to 24 might be different. 30, 34 will be different. So Capricorn may be really highly selective of what it wants to study. Only wants to study what it's interested in. And they don't really see the interrelationship of all disciplines. Wow. Usually a Capricorn is not a good neighbor. By that, it is meant that a Capricorn is a bad. By that, it is not meant that a Capricorn is a bad neighbor, but tends to remain aloof from the activities going on in the neighborhood, tending more to keep its own interests and activities within the framework of their own home. It is certainly not a gregarious sign. So Capricorn is it's a worker, but a lot of people they say Capricorns are not sociable, but they can be. Because I work with somebody, I called her Miss P, She is very sociable. And like she was a true Capricorn. She's a hard worker and she looked good every day. But Capricorns will try to use people. If they can get somebody to do it for them, they will. So got to be careful with that. But they're security conscious. So why now I'm telling you that because that's all going on, and that's all a possibility in the third house. Now that should, well, we'll get back to that. Well, we'll say this: that is your true north node. So this is your life purpose to be kind of like using your Capricornian skills to communicate with others. That's like your life purpose. That's your true north node. But if you do that, you're going to meet someone, because Juno means you're going to meet that type of person. Now let's take Neptune and Capricorn. Okay, now this is myastrologybook.com. They're pretty good. Neptune and Capricorn can cause a dissolving and dissolution of old governments and national boundaries. The Iron Curtain and the Soviet Union went down when Neptune was in Capricorn, and governmental philosophies, communism throughout the world. This was accompanied by an upsurge of idealistic Neptune into these old forms, Capricorn. So, okay, before Neptune was in Capricorn, it was more like the government said, hey, listen, we're controlling everything. But then Neptune came in the Capricorn and kind of like shook things up. And now more people are talking about freedom and dreams. And hey, we want the American way. We want McDonald's. We don't want the wall. Tear the wall down. And you kind of see that going on now because you have a philosophy, make America great again. But they say, hey, well, great. Well, your definition of great might not be our definition of great. You're talking about getting rid of all these people and putting walls up and all that. That's not nice. That's not idealism. That's not what we want our country to be. But he's saying, but if you go to the laws, everything I'm saying is on your books. But the American people are saying, like, we don't care about the laws. Home of the free, land of the brave, and stuff like that. Too much Uncle Sam. So that's what you see going on right now. So that's Neptune and Capricorn. And I'm just letting you know, and that's what Uranus does. The same thing. Because Uranus is going to shake order up. So Neptune in Capricorn symbolizes the entrance of the spirit or the ideal into form and structure. Advanced souls incarnated while Neptune was in Capricorn. Because they always say Capricorn is like an old soul. So what Neptune is going to do with this old Capricorn old soul is going to invigorate them with idealism. So you're going to have this kind of like mature old soul, but they're not going to be approved. Like they're going to kind of understand idealism and ideas. And that's why I kind of, because my moon sign is a Capricorn, but I'm real close to Neptune. So you're innovative, and then Uranus too, because I got the Aquarius and Saturn thing going on my chart. Because Saturn rules Capricorn. So these people still believe in structure, but not the rigid do it or get locked up or do it or die type thing. And what those type of people will do, they'll take knowledge and break it down and make it for the common people to understand. Like they'll take higher knowledges and break it down so you can understand it. So I do stuff like that, but you can see it on the chart. But I'm saying it to you because it's kind of like what's on your chart, your third house. These individuals will take positions of statesmen and women, educators, healers, and spiritual leaders. We began to see the sea tap for minerals at that time. So why did the sea tap for minerals at the time of Neptune into Capricorn? Because they're looking for them emeralds, those crystals, those rocks. So Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are the three most outer planets of the system. The three outermost planets of the system. So Neptune's effect by sign, and that sign is Capricorn, is collective, global, or generational, rather than personal. So that Neptune in your is going to affect the psyches of the entire generations. But each of the outer planets, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, are in a different house every 2 hours due to the Earth's daily rotation on the axis. Therefore, Neptune's position by house is very individual. So we say third house of Gemini. So Neptune can be called the deceiver because it'll say, hey, the idealism, hey, and sometimes people say, you know, I did my part, so they should do theirs. But that's not always the case, because you can do your part and somebody will throw a wrench in your socket. And that's why they call Neptune a deceiver. But you got to be careful, because then the easiest thing to say is, you know what, I'm going to be a realist from now on. I'm going to be a Saturn. But then you miss the whole point. That's why some people might understand what I'm about to say. But that's why one of my favorite movies was Star Wars. Plus, I had the whole father issue thing going on anyway. But you had Luke Skywalker, you had Darth Vader, and then you had that wicked guy. And up until that point, Darth Vader was wicked. But Luke still believed. That's that Neptune. He still believed there was good in this man. I can feel it. I can sense it. So he tapped into his Neptune, his intuition, his intuitive side. Wow, this is really a bad situation. But I still believe this man can be redeemed. And so the guy that was wicked didn't care about all that crap. So he's like, Luke, you're gonna team up with us or you're gonna die. That's the reality. That's my reality. Like, that's Hitler talking. You're gonna do what I say, or you're gonna die, Luke. All that stuff you're talking about is crazy. And the whole time, his father's just looking, because his father has pledged loyalty to the darkness. So Luke is getting his butt kicked, and he's always like, he won't fight back, because he could have fought back too, because Luke had power, but he just wasn't as trained as the darkness. But he did have power, because Luke Skywalker was chosen by the universe to bring these people down. But he had to find a way to do it. And he wasn't that good with his power yet. He was a novice. He was new. So he's getting his ass kicked. And he didn't know what to do but just to start to call out for his father. Oh, Dad, Dad. And that was just beautiful. It was heart taking. Because like I had issues with my father. And you see Darth Vader got to make that decision. And he's either going to go with the dark side and stay with the dark side. He's going to save his son. So what I'm trying to say is Neptune forces Capricorn. But you got to be tough, because otherwise they're gonna lie to you. They're gonna bully you, like what they're doing to me right now. It's fucked up. It really is. But I also got fired by the same reason. Somebody lying on me. I got fired from a job. And sometimes you gotta go through the system. But when I walk with the spirit, that's why I wish more people took this shit seriously. Stop thinking it's not television. This is real life. This is your real life. Now you can keep walking around in that world, but all that world is doing is dumbing you down and taking you to your own destruction. And like when Moses came to say to people, they wanted to get rid of Moses. Who do you think you are? Now this is the poison. Like I said, Luke Skywalker. Moses was your Luke Skywalker. And even Darth Vader was wise enough to wake up and realize that Darth Vader was wicked. But you got all these people that just dumb down and they act like they want to stay that way. Or they want this information as long as it. Where's my love? What about my twin? What about my career? And then if you're not talking that, now they're mad. Now they're calling you all kind of stuff that you're not. And you helped every last one of these people in so many different ways. And that's the same as the people that will be out here every day taking the information but never give nothing back. And then have the audacity to send you an email telling you what you need to do. Do you have any class whatsoever? Any coop? Any compassion? Stop using. So what I'm trying to say is that's what Luke did. So he didn't fight the war the way these guys fought it. But he put his trust in the force, would be spirit, his intuition. And he trusted that he could change certain things. Because you're not going to change the machine all the way. But you can change some type of things. But you got to be tough. And you got to put your trust in spirit. Because it's easy for you to say, hey, I'm getting mine. This is not my fight. But sometimes, and that's why I said if you were to go back to my readings, you'll say where I'm at now, they were training me for this for over 2 months. And that's why whenever I went to 123 Tarot, they would tell me the same stuff. The cards would read the same. They would say the same thing. Because that's how much they wanted me to do it. And then just about 2 days ago, that's when a mother came. The Divine Mother, the High Priestess, has not been around. But she came two days ago to let me know it's time. And she said, fool. And I said, okay, she's sending me somewhere. And she just wants me to go and base it on intuition. The Luke Skywalker. I said, all right, let's go. Let's go. And these are pivotal times, but that's the best time to trust in spirit. And that's what Luke did. Because he was going to lose his life. Sometimes your best time is when you're starving to trust in God to make that happen. And then I also gave you the family where a black man married a white woman. And they're in that area that they're in used to be very racist. I'm not saying that it still is, and I'm not saying that it's still not. But that was a very racist location. They ain't trying to see no black man with no white woman, especially with all them kids. And you talking about you got fired from your job and you can't afford your kids, and you think I'm going to pay for you? I'm not paying for you, boy. You should never marry her in the first place. And then white people, that's why you don't marry no nigger. They can't keep no job. Don't nobody want to hire no nigger. But they said that was the biggest outpouring of support they ever seen. Why? Because that's the power of spirit. Again, this is Luke Walker. This is Luke Walker taking on the system. And then Luke's power that he had, because I think it was the force be with you. So that power that they called the force opened up a whole wall. So that's what you have to believe in. That Neptune. Not be stupid and not let people take advantage of you. But the better you get with this, the more you'll be ready. But you gotta study your chart. You gotta get the angel cards. You gotta work with the angels. It's not getting mad at me. How is that going to help you getting mad at me? And I'm trying to help you. And then you cause me to duke out fights. And I'm sick of fighting. Messing up my thing. Because now you're pulling me into some junk because you don't want to do what you're supposed to. And you got to say, like I said, why would you come into this world if you're going to stay fleshly? Because now you're bringing bad karma on yourself. So these people don't get it. But they do get it eventually because that karma, those lies and all that stuff they spit out is coming back on them. And I try to teach you guys, hit your kids. It's not just you. I've been doing this for centuries, not centuries, decades. Feel like century. I'm an old soul. Maybe I was doing it for century. I'm an old soul. I'm a Capricorn moon sign. Now, so we kind of get that. Now Uranus is going to do the same thing. See, now what you want, you already know about Neptune and Capricorn. So now what you want is Uranus conjunct Neptune. But it's basically going to be the same thing. They're working together to take on that Saturnian energy. To take on a Capricornian or Saturnian energy, because Saturn rules Capricorn. I'm going to put this on pause. I'll be right back. I remember one time I was watching Cops. And it was something happened with a black woman. Something was going on with a black woman. And so she called. Somehow the police got called. So it was a black cop and a white cop. And she was really hysterical. So they was trying to calm her down. But the one thing she kept saying was, "Oh Lord Jesus, Jesus, oh Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, they come in my house, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, oh Lord Jesus, nah, 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 nah." And they were trying to restrain her. And the only thing that saved her Now, well, I know Jesus saved her, but the bottom line was that black cop. So he knew about that. So he tried to talk to her and calm her down. Because if it had been on white cops, that might have been that would have been another dead Negro. I hate to put it that way. I wanted to say the other word, but since it is a woman, I'm not gonna say it. But I don't think they would because they're either gonna restrain you, they're gonna tase you, they're gonna restrain you, or they're gonna shoot you. Simply put. So because she was calling that name, and it is definitely power in that name, the more you understand spirituality and you realize everything's a division. So they're telling you this church is different from that church and all that. But if you tap in the spirit, you tap in the spirit, and spirit is love, and spirit is going to be there for you. And that's what you see in these archangels. That's what you see in your natal chart. Anything that's connected to the universe of the spirit is connected. And it's up to you to tap into it and benefit from it. But then again, it's up to you. And if you see yourself slipping and somebody like me is trying to tell you, okay, you're trying to go backwards, don't take it personal. All right, Uranus, Neptune. The raising of the consciousness. These people will have a strong degree of identification with the collective mind and group consciousness. So what they're saying is, even though Capricorn can kind of like be like the old soul working by themselves and all that, but they put so much Neptune and Uranus energy into your house that they're gonna be able to use that Capricorn. See, because he's an old soul, so he is a little bit more mature. But because he has Neptune and Uranus, he's still got that youthful idealism and ready to oppose authority. So that's like your worst nightmare, because he knows how Saturn thinks. He knows how Saturn wants to regulate everything. But because he's gonna have all his Uranus, it's like when them rich people and they got the world locked down, but then their kids start getting born, and their kids say, "I don't like how you do. You know, you're doing these people wrong. You're lying to these people. You're manipulating these people, and I want no part of it." And that their children break off from them, but that helps weaken their hold. So that's what you got here, because your third house is definitely I'm gonna say anti-bullies, because all governments are not bad, but anti-bully governments, and it's to help out the community. Like, this is a conscious house, so this person might be really into consciousness. So this person will have a social responsibility, the awareness of participating in social communities, working for the betterment of all. There's always going to be a concept of brotherhood, sisterhood, the word we. It can also be a form of revolutionary mysticism emerging from an acute mental and emotional sensitivity connected to an intuitive, imaginative facility. Because they already said it's in your psyche, and your psyche will be connected to the psyche as a whole. Like people getting together singing "We Are the World," or people getting together holding each other, and stuff you see that's going on right now. That's Neptune, Uranus opposing the body, the Saturnian or Capricorn energy. So they'll form a new leader, and the leadership, if they don't want riots and civil war, they have to start, because that's what happened in the 1960s as well. There's going to be a distrust of leaders based on an intuitive perception of their real motives and characteristics. It's funny he's saying this because this was going on with Trump. Because, I mean, people definitely said, oh, no, this guy's a devil. We're not having no more Hitler and all that. And even by him saying North Korea, you saw all them North Koreans stood up quick. They're like, oh, no, you talking about we not going to be here and all that. Then they stood up. They was like, nah. And that's what you got to do. Because they will. These devils don't care about dropping no bombs on you. They could care less. So those born under these aspects we're talking about will be willing to fight for the maintenance of personal freedom or rights if they are under threat by the decisions of social leaders, and that's what you see. He says a new balance of power between the people and the state will begin to form, and new politics should rise into view, reflecting the increase in individual right and power. Generally, this could be a period of spiritual and scientific development, because Uranus is about technology and science and breakthroughs, where breakthroughs occur and the exploration of nature and mind. Changes that become... Okay, we have to read that. All right. So that really is a powerful third house. And you're going to find somebody there. That's your serious relationship, is Juno. So, let's say you might bump into the guy. Now, what you don't want to do is just to playing so hard to get that he can't contact you or talk to you, or not looking a gift horse in the mouth, because this is your moment. So it's up to you to respond, because the interview is set. The universe is setting it up, but now you have to take action. And that's why I'm going to keep telling people, all this tough guy energy, unless it's really against a bully, or unless it's really working for you, it's that you're actually hurting yourself. Because how can you hurt somebody that's trying to help you? So bottom line is, if that did happen and you realize, wow, this guy was trying to talk to me, now he doesn't talk to me, maybe because you were playing hard to get or whatever, humble yourself. Re-break the conversation. He obviously was interested. Why say, oh, forget him. Forget him. He did this, he did that, he did that. So you never gave this guy a chance. You just can't. I'm going to play hard to get. Oh, you going to stop talking to me? Oh, well, I don't need to talk to you then. Oh, F you. Well, from now on, when you try to talk to me, I'm going to be very rude. See, that's like little girl. That's like really crazy mentality. Really is. And then they'll be the same person saying, oh, I'm lonely, or I don't need no man, or all men are dogs, or men are just so immature. You're the one that's acting immature, not the man. He did try to talk to you. He did try to come up to you. So that's why it came to a point with me, I had to learn to stop playing the games out in this world. I'm gonna stop holding myself guilty for what other people do. Bottom line, and like somebody that has a little bit of power, you can't judge me. That's why everything Tupac said, like I'm feeling Tupac more what he said. Not so much the music and the thug shit, because that to me that's a little immature. But what he said is hitting hard, because everything he said, you can't judge me. God's my judge. Like I'm out here trying to feed the homeless, you ain't doing nothing. All you trying to do is lock me up. Every little thing I do, you trying to lock up me. All these people lying on me up in here. That's how Pac was. Y'all should worry more about God. Y'all all talking about y'all here with God. Ain't none of y'all here with God. I'm the only one up in here in God. I'm more God. God is more on me than y'all ever here. Pac will go off, and everything he was saying was so true. So that is your third house. And then you have Lilith. But the good news is Lilith is direct. So now we're going to try three. I think Bob Mark Astrologer. We'll try Bob Mark Astrologer. All right, now I'm just trying to look at this. This is a forum that I'm not looking for. I don't want a forum, Bob. Let me just see. Nope, I definitely don't want that. We're just gonna see what this says. I don't want to do that yet. We might come back to that, we may not. We'll just take this out. We're just gonna say Lilith, Bob, Mark, Astrologer. Then we'll try it this way. Lilith in the houses. Lilith in the houses. Lilith in the third house. This is tdjacobs.com. tdjacobs.com. With Lilith in the third house, our sense of curiosity about the world and capacity for the sense of wonder at what we find all around us might find is tied up in Lilith issues. Okay, but you have to be more specific, please. With this placement here, we're hiding our Lilith. With this placement here, if we're hiding our Lilith, there can be a sense of jadedness that the world does not have amazing things to offer us in variety, splendor, and perhaps that it only offers the harsh judgments of abuse of others. The curious, open, and wonder-infused third house nature of a person is what others have reacted against and used to punish the person with Lilith here. These people need to allow others their discomfort while the natives explore the world around them and ask and learn what they need to ask and learn. There's another one. This is a emo astrology. I think everybody knows what emo is. They be wearing all that black clothes and stuff. This is saying the same thing that the other one did. Well, I know Lilith, because your third house is definitely anti somebody trying to control stuff. It's definitely anti. Oh, we're gonna make these rules. But if they feel that's how Lilith is though, because that's why she left Adam according to mythology. So if they feel that the rule is too restrictive or whatever, trying to encroach on somebody's freedom, they're gonna fight. So that's really the main reason why your Lilith is there. She's all for the freedom of everything, freedom of expression, things like that. All right. So that is your third house. So the person you may find yourself in a relationship with will be somewhat old soul Capricornian, but hopefully he'll also have some of that those other energies we talked about. Because if not, then you would have to you have to really stand up for yourself. But whenever you see anything like Juno's already about a serious relationship. Capricorn is serious minded, and so is Saturn. And see, if you notice, it's leading right into your fourth house of family, and Saturn is right there. So this is definitely going to be a serious relationship. All right. So that's your true north node. Oh, your life purpose, your life mission in this life, whatever we explained in your third house. But now we might as well go to your south node, which would be your past life. And it's going to tell you how to attract your soulmate. Your soul color for Capricorn in the third house is brown. And it's funny because I saw a lot of brown today. God kept showing me that color. First step in attracting your soulmate. Appreciate your Cancer talents. Because your Cancer, wherever you see that 6-9, that's your past life. And we're going to look at that house too. But right now we're going to read this. This is the soulmatesite.com. And it's the-soulmate-site.com. So your Cancer or your past life talents are vulnerability, home loving, nurturing side. Now your Cancer or your South node represents your karmic part, your karmic past. I'm sorry. Appreciate, but don't make your Cancer qualities the center of your life. Because what most people do, they go back to what's easy. They go back to what's easy. So you'll see people regressing back in this life to the South node because that's what they know. But you have to face the challenges in your true North node. So Capricorn is nurturing, sensitive, protective, loving. They like to prepare food for others. And they love the quiet nature and time on the water. And they're maternal. Be a great mom if you have kids. Value the whole idea of family. So that's the first step of attracting your soulmate in this life is appreciate who you were in the past life. But now Cancer, you have to own the Cancer karma because you incurred karma. Could be moodiness, using family as an excuse, and clinging to the past. So that's the second time they warned you about clinging to the past. So now karma in this area, using emotions to manipulate. And remember, Remember, Scorpio is very emotional too and very manipulative. Because like I told you, it's a power struggle. And you may try to control and smother others. You may be codependent, which was also like being obsessive or stalking. So in this lifetime, you've got to stop seeing the world that way. They said through rose-colored glasses, but it's not so much seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's seeing the world you want to see it. And I know some people think it's the same thing. It's not. Or trying to make somebody be the way you want them to be, because you have to step into. They're saying step into a life of reality, but they're also saying step into. No, they said step into a life of responsibility, but they also mean step into a life of reality. So that's why it's kind of tricky for you. Because they're kind of like telling you to be mature and realistic in this life, but don't get so mature and realistic that you cut off like helping people and stuff like that. Because that's really how it happens. See, Capricorn is also career. So they may be implying that you're going to have like a great career. We'll learn more. As we do your chart, we'll find out for sure. But that's how some people do. Once they start seeing, my bills is paid. I tried to help these bitches. This lady reported me. I ain't do nothing to her. I'm sick of these. I'm sick of this. So they give up. They get sick of it. Just like Luke could have said, listen, I'm about to lose my life. I'm going to team up with my father. We're going to take this world over. Because that's what everybody else be doing when they be going in, signing record deals and bending over, taking it up the rear, selling out, taking oaths with the devil, killing their own family and stuff for sacrifice. That's what everybody else is doing. So what they're trying to tell you is, in your third house, maybe last time you were too caring, too giving, too motherly, too emotional. Now in this life, we want you to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more serious, but they still want you to care about the other people. Because you can still be a nurturer, you can still be motherly. Like I said, if you really listen to me, I do sound like a mama. Because I'll tell you quick, okay, I'm going to help you, baby, but I'm not doing everything. And you damn sure ain't coming up in here disrespecting me. I'll smack the shit out of you. Like you think if you ever was raised by an old grandmama or something, grandmama tell you, watch Martin Lawrence. If you ain't ever seen grandmama, watch Martin Lawrence. He tell you what mama tell you quick. You ain't come up in here with them dirty shoes on, I'll smack the. So mama said, I still love y'all, but y'all got some shit with you. And God gonna get you if you making trouble for me. I know how to fight. Devil's been lying on me since I've been on this effed up planet. But you better start worrying about you and everybody around you, because you're gonna have some karma on that ass if you lied on me and set me up. Tupac warned y'all niggas, y'all didn't listen. Whip me up, set me up. Tupac said, it may take me a minute to get you, but I will be back. And almost everybody he had trouble with is either dead or in jail. And this is after he died. People were still dying that had messed with Pop. That karma, don't mess with that karma. That's why they call it Ma. Ma at the end. Ma gonna get you. So they saying in a past lifetime you were a mom, a stay-at-home wife, a sailor, a chef or cook, or an abandoned child. You may have been an overly emotional and dependent woman, or one who had an unhealthy desire to be needed. Because they're warning you about this in your first house too. Have you attracted emotional, depressed, childlike people in your life? And those are the people that are using you, that you kind of put them there because you got that motherly thing. And, you know, you want people in your life, but that's cool. But you got to learn how to get the right people in your life, because it should work both ways. If you doing stuff for them, they should be doing stuff for you. So now they're talking about the shadow side of a Cancer. So the shadow side of your past life is emotional dependencies, a fear of leaving the nest. But she's saying if you really want, when you take on more responsibility, your emotional needs are going to be taken care of. So she's saying the same thing the other person said. There might be a little bit of fear of stepping into your Capricorn energy in your third house, but the moment you start to step up and take action, the universe will start showing you. Step 3, and attracting your soulmate. Create traditions, cultivate logic, wear earth tones, your soul color. So what she's telling you to do, she usually says step into your soul mission. Well, that's what she said, step into your Capricorn soul mission. She did say it. She did say it, because that's what she normally says. She always tells you to step into your true north node. That's your life purpose, soul mission. So we already did. We're not gonna go over Capricorn and Cancers. We already did. Very mature, very grounded. Business-like attitude. Traditional, economic. Capricorn helps you become a father to yourself, a father to another, possibly. Finally, as a universal father who offers wisdom, support, and shelter for the children of the earth who need it. And that's all in your third house, helping others. It could be a literal home, but it could just be information. So she's saying the more you step into your integrity, your Capricorn energy, the more you're going to see. The more you step, let's just do it this way. The more you step into your third house, and it's been fully explained. So that's why shouldn't nobody be talking, oh, I don't understand. I don't. Okay, did you take notes? Did you study? Of course you're not going to understand. You got to stop being lazy and thinking somebody's going to fix your life. It's on your natal chart. You have your natal chart. It's right there. Take notes. Quiz yourself. Go over it sometimes. And I'm doing that for that person's benefit, because as long as they think I'm going to do it or somebody else going to do it, they ain't never going to learn it. So the more you step into your third house thing, you're going to meet that person. Because that's what she's telling you. She's telling you you're going to attract your soulmate by doing these things. And funny, Juno is right there. So Juno is a serious relationship. And that person is definitely going to have some Capricornian and Saturnian energy, because you see it in your chart. But now let's go to where Cancer is on your chart. And see, the universe did it, so you got a little bit of Cancer. See, you got a little bit of Cancer, Capricorn, Leo stuff going on. So, and that's your career sector as well. That's house 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, yeah, that's your career too, with Leo, with Capricorn. And it looks good, because you got Chiron, which is healing. So, it's working out great on your chart. Now, the funny thing is that house number 9, which is Sagittarius, takes you back to house number 2. So all this is going on for your healing, and it's a family atmosphere. So house number 9 is about traveling. So it might be you may have some family travel related situations going on. And remember, family can be the family you were born out of. It could be your twin, the guy you're in a relationship with, or it can be people you consider to be your family. But house 9 is about travel, long distance matters, philosophy, religion, even foreign languages. Sometimes that can apply that a person's person in a relationship with is foreign, but this is where you're getting your healing from. So the best thing you can do is use your Capricorn energy and find a way to help each other, but not if it's going to destabilize you. That's why I have to say no to a lot of stuff. But you are being helpful. You are helping others, but you can't do everything. That's the number one thing I had to learn. You can't be everywhere. You can't do everything. Now, we're going into your 4th house, which is about family. So far, we've done your 1st house, 2nd house, 3rd house, and your 4th house. And we'll talk more about your... Let me do that again. 1st house, 2nd house, 3rd house, 10th house. Let me do it again. 1st house, 2nd house, 3rd house, 9th house. So when we come back, we'll talk more about your 10th house, but we'll be coming back to start with the 4th house. Okay, so the 4th house is all about... The 3rd house is also about younger education. The 4th house is about teenage to adult education, real estate and property, your family, ancestors, the heart, vehicles, and even travel. The 4th house is also about whoever raised you when you were younger as a motherly figure. That's your Imam Coeli. Excuse me. And Aquarius is all about getting knowledge. Aquarius likes to be free and independent, and helping people with the knowledge they have. Now, one thing Aquarius tend to do, they like to take in a lot of knowledge, and they like to appear smarter than they are. So whenever they're the type of people you meet are using words, and like I'm not telling you, because Aquarius and Leos don't get along. Like they'll challenge each other, but they really don't. They'll challenge each other. So I got a guy out here I call my brother. So we're like that, but we, still strength and still, but still. Like some Aquarius might come around and they want to use words, big words, but they really don't even know the definition of the word. And then a guy like me, because I'm a Capricorn moon sign and I'm a Leo sun sign, so I'm gonna challenge him. Like I'm gonna say, see if he know how to say the word in like in a sentence, the definition. If you don't, then be quiet. So, but that's the old soul, because I've been trained that way. Like, you don't talk stuff you don't know what you. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't fake it. Just say you don't know, or go find out and study. Because that's the problem nowadays. Too many people talking and don't know what they're talking about, and you got all these people that are confused. So I made it a one man mission to change all that. Not that I'm going to, but it just feels good to take that. You know, sometimes you got to take that Luke Skywalker beat down, but you took it like because you understand. Think about like stuff that Martin Luther King went through and stuff like that. How many times they threw that man in jail and what they did to that man to try to destroy his reputation, everything. Sometimes you just got to be that Luke Skywalker and toughen up and go through it. Trust God. Because how you going to be talking about spirit and all that if you don't trust God? That's why I said when somebody say love and light to me, if you ain't show me no love and light, I'm going to call you on it. And that's another reason why I'm hated. I'm not with that fake shit. Yeah. All right, Aquarius in the 4th house. The foundation of your personal, private, persona life is built upon your circles, and the public acquaintances. So that's going to be your connection to your 4th house is connected to your 11th house to Aquarius. And we already did Uranus because Uranus rules Aquarius. So you can already see how your 4th house is mimicking your 3rd house because it's that guy. Not say it could also be a father figure, but it could be the father figure, but it could also be that guy that you meet in the 3rd house. The guy or the guy that we talked about in the 3rd house. You may not meet him in the 3rd house, but they basically said if you're out doing all those things, you'll meet him. The foundation of your personal, private persona and your personal life is also your ability to express your individuality in a group or team dynamic. And that's how Lilith is, because Lilith's not trying to be a follower. Lilith is a leader, and she's a fighter, and she's in your 3rd house. You feel comfortable and confident within a team or group environment to the point where you may not feel solid and secure standing alone as an individual. So that's why I said they put that Capricornian energy in your 3rd house so you can get along with him. Because other than that, you would be like a free spirit of moving. But in order for you to relate to this guy, because he's a little bit more serious, and Juno's serious. But like I said, as a female, just weigh the odds. That's why I say emotions are great, but sometimes you got to think, weigh the odds. Because some women say, oh, I don't want to be serious because just find out what are they talking about. That's why it's easy to get mad. That's a coward's way. I'm sorry. Oh, now you're mad and you run. You've never spoke to the person. You've never asked that person what their stand was, but you just don't want to deal with it. Either you're scared or you think you're going to hear something you don't want to hear, and you run instead of asking that question to get the answer. Now, you may be inclined to host groups or team gatherings in your home or on a fairly regular basis with quite a number of guests in addition to your immediate family. There may be something else about your home or family lifestyle that is unusual or out of the ordinary social norm. Because they say Uranus and Aquarius can be unusual. The dual nature of Aquarius is very important with Aquarius in the 4th house, because the Aquarian can be so involved with humanity and very acutely aware of trying to help others to find direction in life, purpose, and finding meaning. Or on the further end of the polarity there, the negative aspect, the Aquarian could have a general distaste or dislike for his fellow man, feeling that mankind is not quite ready for the Aquarian or Aquarian ideas. So we don't necessarily see that on your chart. We don't see any dislike for the community. So the responsibility of Aquarius in the 4th house is to bring his ideas and his concepts and his knowledge and understanding to the attention of mankind. But always remembering the old cliche, old proverb, or axiom. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And any real person, we know that now. We know that now. So they said an Aquarian can live in a cocoon state, but they may not realize that whatever they're saying or wherever you're going, whatever you're doing is having an impact on others around you. So they wanna contribute feelings of compassion, understanding, which would of course cause a higher octave of the emotions. See, like me, I'm old school, so I do that too. I really do. Well, that's the number 17 again. I keep seeing that number 17. I do that, but what happens is people just like I said again, somebody like Pac. Pac said a lot of shit. Now you could just focus on, oh, he fucked the police, he was anti-sociable, and he sounded like a racist, and blah blah blah. But if you understood his whole message, he's like, why is our world so fucked up? His people starving, and we don't even feed them. And his people that got 7 houses, it ain't even people in their houses. Why can't they put some of these old people in, like some of these homeless people in their houses? And he even did it. When he made some money, he took a house, he put people in it, like people that was homeless. So Pac was the real deal. Like really. He really was like an angel. But this world is so crazy. But that's because that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not that I'm doing anything wrong. They just don't want to deal with it. So they'll try anything to stop me. Anything. And it's not like oh, you got a martyrdom complex. And no, that's real. I only talk about what's real. And that's why I said I just learned how to fight. Because you'll really be saying something and then somebody, like if somebody's really following you, right? And you say, wow, why is that person following me? And they say, you're very narcissistic. How are you very narcissistic if a person is really following you? That's not narcissistic. So people say anything. So that's why I said, when you really get down with this, you just start trusting in God and moving forward. And that's what they said. When you move for God's going to be there. If you're really with God, he's not going to let you fall. You just got to F all these people, no matter what happened. They shut you out of one door, go back in another door and shit. Because it's that way. And no matter what you think, it's always going to be a Judas. Somebody come to you begging for help. You help them, and then they flip on you. And then act like, oh, yeah, they're doing this and they're doing that. And they said this and they did that. Taking everything out of context. Just to set you up. Just like I said, same thing Pac said. Set you up, wet you up. So, when you really want to try to change the world like you're supposed to be doing, expect resistance because it is going to come. All right, I'm going to put this on pause. I'll be right back. But the good news, if you persist, you will start to change people. Because they're still changing the vibration. That's why I said a lot of stuff Pac said in the 1990s, they're starting to do more and more now. And that's all they be talking about, Tupac wearing Tupac shirts, playing Tupac music. Like to me, he's like being reborn. And that's that 8th house. That's that 8th house because it's birth, death, rebirth, regeneration, rejuvenation, rebirth, resurrection. And that's, like he said, he would be the spark that changes the world. And so far, he has been. And that's a lofty statement for one man to make. I'm going to be the spark to change the world. And he did. And he ain't even alive. He didn't even live that long. He was like, what was he, 25 when he died? So this is what I'm talking about. All right. Now, usually Saturn in the 4th house is a masculine energy or a fatherly figure, and they do try to maintain order or structure. So your 3rd house is very similar to your 4th house. And they kind of told you why, because a lot of your community activity will be taking place in whatever a place of residence or home that you're familiar with. A place of residence or a place you're hanging out at a lot. It's almost like a home. So it's either one, however you want to interpret it. This is my astrologybook.com, Saturn and Aquarius. Saturn Aquarius is in a strong position, since with Uranus, it is a co-ruler of Aquarius. Saturn's test in Aquarius is to grow in openness and fairness to all, to be responsible for an awareness of the brotherhood of mankind. So they keep saying that about you, the brotherhood, sisterhood of mankind. You will be frequently asked to put your own personality aside and will be a representative of a larger and more universal consciousness. When Saturn is unafflicted here, and it is, you can be strong, impersonal, just, scientific, and universal in outlook. It's important that you keep your circulation flowing with this position. See, I've been doing this a long time. So what I'm trying to say, how I do it, the person's got to really want to learn. Because people act like they want to learn, but they're trying to suck your energy. Because they won't study. And that's how I know. That's like a teacher. Okay, did you do your homework? First thing the teacher going to ask. No. Well, my mama always, every excuse in the book. Oh, my dog ate it. Oh, every excuse in the book. So you know this person ain't really, they could talk a good game. And that teacher know. And they'll just suck your energy. And that's why I said you have to be very careful. That's why I said what I do. That's why I say even my brother, it was time for him to go his way, I go mine. For different reasons. So that's what you're looking for, people who are learning the information, because this is real. And they're trying to tell you we're actually changing the world. And we are. Because we're raising the vibration. This ain't no joke. And what better place to find your soulmate if you all are into the same thing? Now, still, make sure you understand the twin flames, the stages of the twin flame union. And you see that on YouTube. The stage of the twin flame union, DNA awakening. Because a lot of you'll get in a situation and you don't understand why you guys might be breaking up and all that, or why it's so difficult. All right, now your fifth house is Pisces, so that's a spiritual house, and that's going to also be ruled by Neptune. So this is going to be a very idealistic spiritual person. So to put it in a nutshell, they would take a whole lot of trips, but they're based on spiritual. Like a church might take a church trip to Atlantic City, or a church trip to Disneyland, or all that, but it's still considered a spiritual trip. That's basically what's going on in your fifth house. It's going to be children, childbearing. Your fourth and fifth house can be about children and having fun and just taking risks, and even creativity. Could even be torn, like if it was a spiritual band or singing, soul singing, poetry, whatever that spirituality is. But that's your fifth house. And it's ruled by Leo. And then ironically, Leo rules Leo is in your 10th house, which is the career, and that's ruled by Capricorn, and Saturn rules over Capricorn. All right, now your 6th house is all about motherly stuff, home stuff, healing stuff. Is ruled by Virgo, health, healing, service, daily activities, young children, young animals, co-workers, or subordinates, and that is your sun sign. So just gotta be careful of the aggression, because that's definitely. But you'll be a good speaker, though. You'll be a good speaker in all those areas I just said. So like for social reform and consciousness, you'll be a real good speaker, and you'll be aggressive. See, the one thing, if you're aggressive in the right areas, that's good. But just that you can't be aggressive in the other areas, because then you can distance people from you, or you could be accused of being a bully. But it's good, like when you get pressure, because pressure does come. And if you notice with all this Black Lives Matter stuff, there's been a lot of women. They've been up front So that's that Aries energy. And they, when you going up against your opposer, they got to know you ain't going to back down. I ain't saying do nothing crazy, get killed or nothing, but you ain't never going to get. That's why we just starting to get it. If you notice, these so-called African Americans, they've been here forever. They only starting to get it. Like all these years, they've been marching and all that, but ain't nobody been taking them seriously. Now, for some reason, you can see it. It's a difference because we're getting closer and closer to what? The age of Aquarius. That white supremacy stuff is going out the window. All right, I'm gonna hit this pause. I'll be back. Okay. So we did your 5th house, 6th house. All right. Now your 7th house, again, full of love. With Taurus there, very sensual. So you're talking about massages, a very sensual situation. And see, Taurus rules your 2nd house. And see, you got a Sagittarius there. So see, these people, they may not have all the drama that a lot of other people have. Because Sagittarius represents the more mature state of a relationship where it's not, and the arguing isn't as much. Because whenever you see Gemini at the 3rd house, that's a lot of arguing. But she actually meets him in the 3rd house. But Capricorn is more stable, more mature. So this relationship will be a little bit more. Not saying it won't have issues. Everybody has issues, but it's more sensual. And see, the 7th house can be about legal matters or even contracts. And see, Taurus is good with understanding money and understanding value and things like that. So it may be a good place to have that meeting, have that placement. Okay, now in the 8th house, we already said we said all the stuff in the 8th house. Now we're gonna get into Gemini. Now that cross, the first, not the X, but the cross. Well, let's do it this way. The X is your part of fortune. All that would do is amplify. Like if you're talking about Gemini, it's going to amplify what a Gemini does. A Gemini. So I think we will look at it a little bit. But I don't think we're going to do Gemini because all it's going to do is amplify what a Gemini is. Now we explained Gemini in your 3rd house, so that's how you know what's in your 8th house is Gemini. But we need to know about Gemini in the 8th house. You likely speak power through communication and information. So that is your house of power, the 8th house, powerful, and Gemini is communication and thoughts and creativity. You likely strive to know more or have more information and knowledge than others as a point of dominance over them. People with strong 8th house elements usually need to be cautious of emotional codependency patterns. Yeah, because that's your twins, so that's the 2. And then this is your powerhouse, so that could be power struggle or codependency. Me personally, I'd rather have somebody that's more codependent than somebody that's arguing all the time. But with Gemini on the 8th house, in the 8th house, the desire is to have power or over to control the minds of others through financial, material or physical means rather than control their emotions. Sometimes with this position, you may find yourself in a physical, sexual relationship which either boosts or compromises your psychological influence and intellectual power over others, having you manipulating others or being manipulated by others to meet financial material needs. On a higher octave or higher frequency, Gemini in the 8th house gives the ability to understand the mysteries of life because we are involved in the search for truth. But the problem is that Gemini could get too involved with only the abstractions of mysteries and not understanding or the application to life itself. We are involved in metaphysics and we are involved in astrology, and Gemini will be able to understand these disciplines, but must be cautious that they are not just an intellectual involvement and not the application and especially the communication. So that's like a person who contacts you and says, I want an angel card reading. Okay. So you know what that is. Okay. They ask the first question. Is so-and-so my twin? And the angels kind of say, yeah, he is. Well, we're in separation. How do I get so-and-so back? And they tell you what to do. Focus on it. And then the person asks a question that's kind of like, that's the best example I can give. Why aren't I working at this location? And they kind of tell you why. Like say Capricorn comes, well, you know that's Saturn. Well, that company has rules and regulations, so you have to make sure you apply those rules and regulations. Okay, how do I apply the rules and regulations? So the archangels tell you whatever, patience or study, go outside or anything that's telling you right now you're in a holding spot. That's essentially what they're saying is right now you're not ready. And then they say, well, what's the lunch like? What's the lunch like in that building? So then the reader might say, okay, well, you don't have to worry about that yet because you're not in the building yet. You should worry about what they just told you. And then the person says, well, I asked a question and they flip out. Now, obviously, there's a problem. Now, some people might say, well, I don't see what the problem is with asking a question. The problem is they just told you to be patient. They just told you to wait. And they just told you. So like if you invite some people over in your house, right? And you say, hey, everybody, okay, bathroom's right there. Most of us will be in the living room or outside. But, you know, we got some stuff in this room right here. And we'd appreciate it, you know, if you don't go in there. There's no reason for you to go in that room. And we'd appreciate if you don't go. But then somebody, because they nosy or whatever, they're going to try to go in the room anyway. So that's violation of what you just said. So they just told you, you got to make rules and regulations. Be patient. Learn these rules, learn these regulations. Make sure you're studying them. But you want to go and ask a question anyway, and then you want to raise a pissy fit. If you're really down with angel guidance, see what I'm saying. This is the difference between a person who intellectually understand it, but they don't understand it. Like they say, oh yeah, angel card want to ask angels a question and blah blah blah. But it's not just accents. This is not bubblegum astrology. That's what I keep telling you. People want bubblegum astrology. Oh, I'm going to get my horoscope. Oh, I'm going to get my palm read. This is real people talking back to you. People who are really working in your life. See, I understand a little bit deeper. And it's not that I'm trying to be a prick, but they just got finished telling. Just like I just said. If Jophiel says be patient, but your very next question is trying it again, and she just told you to be patient. That's like disrespecting her. So my job is to say, okay, we can't ask that question right now because they just told you to work on this, work on that. Maybe in the future, cause like this person, no disrespect, but they were just tore up. They wasn't ready. All the cards said it. Their natal chart said it. But they were too busy trying to push their will that they wasn't listening to nothing. And it was almost as bad as a person that used to be a friend of mine. Same thing. They're so wanting to push their will that they're not listening to nothing you say unless you're saying something like, oh, you're a wonderful person. And those are the type of people that go somewhere and spend all that money just to hear somebody tell them, oh, you're good and blah, blah, blah. And that's fine if that's what they want to do. But don't come to a real card reader or somebody who's really doing it the way it's supposed to be done. It's called guidance. They guide us. We don't guide them. So if the implication is be patient, if the implication is study, if the implication is you have to improve in yourself before you can improve with your twin. So I can't ask any further questions about all this other stuff because you were just told, you were just given guidance. So that's the difference between a person who understands it the way it's supposed to be done and people who have a mental understanding of it. So I'm going to read that again. They might be able to understand these disciplines, but must be cautious that they are not just an intellectual involvement and not the application, and especially the communication. So that's what I'm saying. They don't care. Like, they don't, this is what I want. They don't care what the angels just said. Because they got a intellectual understanding of it. But they don't have it, whatever. And my job is to say, this is what it is. And that person was so aggressive that they just thought they could cut in line on everybody. And I'm like, it's other people ahead of you, really. And they were just like really, but they were like obsessed. Like I deal with a lot of type of people, and I can just see this person's gonna be a problem. But like I said, you can't run from everything for a lot different reasons. It's not a money thing. 'Cause I used to turn people down crazy, and I wasn't being mean or rude, but I was just trying to stay in the element of where we're at. Because I had somebody today, and they were going way all over. Look, let's stop talking about past lives and all that. Let's get this life together with. But I answered everything I could, the best I could. And then some of the stuff I was like, okay, now these questions are a little bit more lengthy than what we agreed to. Because I already told them on the phone, me and her, not on an email. But at least she agreed. Some people don't agree, she agreed. You know, because it is time and stuff like that. I can't be out here all day asking these questions because a lot of stuff you talking about ancient lives and the names of people and the name. Come on, man. What about this life? So that video is on this channel right now. Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. You hear me basically saying, why are you guys so interested in being cursed and all this crazy stuff you're asking me? So I do have to put my foot down sooner or later because it gets a little too bizarre. Let's try to stick in this life. Let's stop talking about ancient societies and people in the past and all that and whose name and all that. Let's try to stay here and deal with this life. So there may come a time and place for those other questions to be answered, but her natal chart said it, and then her card reading said it. And obviously she is effed up because she's the one making all this drama. Lying and carrying on. So you're not ready. Like, don't come here talking about you want angel guidance. At the moment they guide you, you get pissed off and attack me, basically. And then attack my character. So I can see somebody say, I'm pissed off. But don't lie on me. What did I do to you to get you to lie on me? So that's what's going down with. So that's what. Now the reason why that's relative, because it's the house they're talking about people who intellectually understand the metaphysics, but they don't really understand it. When you really understand metaphysics, you know that they're just like a Christian. They say have faith. You got to really believe. Like we'll go back to that woman. She was calling on a name that she believed was, and he did. Because I'm telling you, if that had been 2 white cops, we probably never would have saw that on TV. Because they probably would have started grabbing her or tasing her or they would have shot her or whatever. Because she was highly hysterical and she wouldn't calm down. And they will restrain you. And they already know certain things. Because they can't. It's just like a murder. I'm going to tell you all the truth. That's why they be shooting people and killing you. Because it's like a murder. They can't leave you alive. Because if they grab on her or do anything to restrain her, she's going to say they grabbed on me and the whole world is going to be crazy. So it's just easier for them to kill you. And I know that sounds cold-blooded, but believe me, read your newspapers. Anybody, I'm not saying every last one of them do that, but they do it. Just read your newspapers and shit. They'll blow your ass away. Because it's just easier to not have to explain all that and have you alive saying that's not how it happened. Because they're not trying to lose their jobs and shit. So believe me, that lady would have got aired out. If it hadn't been for her saying the name of Jesus, and if it hadn't been for that black cop understanding how black women can be when they're hysterical, her ass would have been out of there. For real. So that's why I say know the power of this. Know the power. Because see, what this female did, all these people that she disrespected, my family, the angels, and me, that's bad karma coming her way. You best believe. And if you listen to me, I tell you all the horror stories of people that have crossed that line. And like Tupac said, it might take a minute before I get you, but I'm going to get you. And it's not me doing no hexes and no voodoo, but you messing with the spirit realm. And back in the day, if you talk to the old timers, they knew you don't talk back to no ordained minister. You don't talk back to no spiritual person of God. He'd have to have done something. And even the Bible said if you're going to bring an accusation, it better be real. Don't bring no railing accusation against no older men. And then when it says older men, it's talking about spirituality. But people don't have no respect nowadays. They want some silly stuff. And then them spirits step in. And then it's too late. So that's why you want more than just a mental understanding of astrology or metaphysics. You're talking to real people. And they got feelings just like you do. And they don't like disrespect. And they're the same way. But they'll be your best friends. They'll be your best friends. If you're true to them, they're true to you. But show a little respect. If somebody said hold off on them questions, nobody trying to take nothing from you. Nobody trying to hurt your feelings. But if you got shit to work on, you got shit to work on. I got shit to work on. Everybody got shit to work on. Just work on it. Stop acting like a big baby. Nobody telling you what to do. I'm not going to be there. I'm not like standing over you and going, hey, what's wrong? I'm not trying to harass you. But we all got stuff to work on. Why are you getting so upset? So now it says, here above all, Gemini has to achieve a higher values of knowledge. Knowledge for the sake of knowledge itself could be one of the weak characteristics of Gemini. One of the failings of Gemini. So like what they're trying to tell you is you're going to be like a communicator as well in higher metaphysical stuff. And I named what all that stuff was in your first house where you saw Scorpio and Pluto. So what they're demanding of you in your 8th house as Gemini is to really have a true understanding and application of higher truth. And that's what I just told you. It can be intellectual. Oh, I think I read my horoscope today. Ah ha ha, LOL. I always said I'm going to find love today. Ah ha ha, hey. Like one big party. But you're talking to real people. They're not joking around. They're not joking around. I mean, you could take it as a joke if you want. But they're not joking around. They're serious. And when they tell you your twin, they're going to bring you your twin. They're serious. That's one thing Chaniel will make me know. Because I remember when I was in my doubt, he would just show up out of nowhere. And he'd look you, like Samuel, he'll look you dead in your eyes and let you know, I'm not lying, I'm going to bring you your soulmate. And you'd be like, yeah, okay, all right, Samuel. Okay, Samuel. Like, I know you are. I know sincerely you are. But that was a long time ago, but you could see it. Like, I've been doing this for a while, but you can see. That's why I said spend more time on real life and metaphysics. I'll be showing you all the proof. I had a whole lot of proof in just the last 2 days. All kind of strange shit. Especially since that eclipse. And then it was some type of moon after the eclipse. I forget. And then just what happened on September 23rd with Virgo. All kind of shit is happening. So I know that's a reality. Plus, again, I work with that person. I know how they can be. So they're not. So the point I'm trying to tell you, they're not joking. It's not just an angel card reading for the sake of LOL. These are real people you talking to, and they're not lying. So you gotta respect them as such. Like I said, if somebody just told you, close that door over there. You don't go over there and reopen the door. They just told you to close the door. It's not what you want. This is angel guidance. It's what they told you. And it's not that difficult. You ain't ready. That's what I said. You're not ready. That's why you're doing all kind of crazy stuff. You're doing everything spirit say don't do. These are spiritual laws. Like, I can't bring no accusation against no spiritual man. That's like, you could fuck your whole house up, baby. Like, I've been doing this a long time and I've seen it happen. Some man out here just trying to feed his family and shit, and he's trying to help you, and you go fuck his shit up, lying on him. Like I said, that's like when that female said Tupac said he's something he didn't do. And now he in jail because of that. You got to pay for stuff like that. That's slander, bro. I don't care what these devils say. These devils been lying since the beginning of time. And that's why they about to be wiped out. That's why I be laughing when they be trying to lay down the law. You can't lay down the law on a righteous man. You can try to lay down the law on a righteous man, but I'm a righteous man. That shit you talking about crazy. You got to set me up and make up all kind of fake ass shit. That stuff's not going to stand. And no matter what you do, I'm still going to be standing strong because I'm filled with the Holy Spirit of God. I'm not scared of you. Let a man do it. Like I said, they call you a lazy ass nigger, but then you work and they still try to find a way to death with you, one way or another, because somebody's lying on you and stuff. That's why they got to go. And you may not understand what I'm trying to tell you, but that's what your whole chart is about. Starting with that third house, going into your eighth house. You're part of that change, that upheaval. This satanic Saturnian energy got to be taken down. All right. Now, also, one of the Gemini characteristics must be avoided is the fact that Gemini tends to fit from one subject to another, and its location on the eighth house requires that Gemini pursue truth to its essence, to its completion, and not just half-hearted. Because that's what I said. That's what's. See, my so-called brother, he likes that he Aquarius, but it's not really his fault. It's just his sign. But he want to be friends with everybody. He want to get knowledge from everywhere. So, you know, at one time we was all sharing emails, and like at 3 o'clock you might get one email saying one thing, one discipline of knowledge, but then at 7 o'clock you might get another email of discipline. Like, dude, you got to be focused. We getting too close. Like, prophetically speaking, we're getting too close to the end of this age we in to be distracted. And then he like that's at Aquarius. Like he said, he liked to dream. Bro, I agree with dreams, but dreams got to be reality too. And that's what people don't understand. Dreams got to be reality too. I like to dream too, but I'm smart enough to know dreams ain't gonna pay that bill unless you find a way to tap into something. Otherwise, you still gonna need reality. So dreams are good. They can inspire you and help you. But if that dream ain't helping pay your bills, we don't need to be wasting a whole lot of time on dreams. And that's my personal opinion. And I understand because this world we're in is highly intuitive, and it has a lot to do with dreams. But again, my question would be, how is that dream going to help you pay that bill? Let's do. Now, if it does it, I'll shut up. Because you tapped into something I can't talk about. I'll shut up. But if you talking about dreaming, but ain't no bill getting paid, nigga, I don't have no respect for you. And stop talking because you sound stupid. Now, one other thing. And then the dude tried to say he don't believe in like black versus white or racism because he's on a higher vibration. I said, okay, that's true. I respect that. But you drive that little Uber, drive your Uber car, drive your Uber, whatever it is, drive that car into a Ku Klux Klan area and get out and ask them for a hug. Hey everybody, I know y'all might believe in racism, but I don't. Let's just have one big hug and let's call it a day. Only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna be hanging from a tree. Do you believe in that? Or you gonna believe in that rope going around your neck? So some of the stuff you saying sounds stupid. I mean, I'm not saying he said it recently because I stopped talking to this dude. But some of the stuff you was saying was just sounding. I understood and I agree with you 100%. In essence, I agree with you. But in actuality, you sound crazy. And that's what I said, bro. I came out here to teach. I didn't come out here for this silly ass social media shit. So that's why I had to do that. And plus, like I said, I talk to the Divine Mother regularly. And you can see it. Like, everything we say is right on real life and metaphysics. Because she is like, shut it down. She like get rid of these bloodsuckers. And I kept seeing mosquitoes. Like, I would go to my back door, be a big ass mosquito right at the door. See, they're bloodsuckers. And then I would get up early in the morning and look out the front door, and there would be another big ass mosquito. And that was the only time I seen them like that was in Divine Mother said, you got to cut off all these people. Because they just sucking up your energy. And not only do they suck up your energy, but then they have the audacity to talk shit about you. Like you don't know what you're talking about. But every last one of them benefited from me. You understand? So that's why I say this human nature. You got to know what this is really about. And you got to focus on the truth. And that's why I said, when you have respect for the archangels, so-and-so said, be patient. So it ain't no sense asking any other question that's you still trying to get your way. And that's how that chick was. She's trying to push her way on everything. And if she didn't get her way, she started making threats. Like she's going to scare somebody. So I said, go do whatever you feel you need to do. So Gemini in the 8th house means to really know what you're talking about. Really study and know it. Not saying you can't learn, because everybody has to learn. But they're saying don't do things half-heartedly. Gemini, with its associative ability, can see the interrelativeness between various disciplines of esoteric knowledge and thus see the common ground between them. Because remember, he's a thinker. The intellectual approach of Gemini provides the tool for the using of mind in a constructive sense in one's life. Then it says, could not the subliminal influence of Pluto as a regenerative force be instrumental in bringing Gemini from the purely physical, mundane, material aspect to that of the spiritual? In other words, the intellectual should be used on a spiritual level as well as the material level. So now they're comparing your first house, which I already told you, to your 8th house. So you would have to go back and listen to what I said about the first house, and you can apply that to your 8th house. In order to achieve real accomplishments in these areas, Gemini needs to develop the persistence rather than scattering the mental energy, which is a tendency of the sign. Like I said, I will, because he likes to study everything. He's just a sociable dude. He want to be talking. He want to study everything and all that. But everybody's here for a reason, though, so I'm not hating on him. But I knew what I was here to do. I'm here. You can see it. I can show you my natal chart. The 9th house is all about Aquarius energy with Saturn retrograde in the 9th house. And that's no nonsense. That's a dude that's going to take the information, find a way to feed it to the masses. He's going to cut through all the bullshit, and he's no nonsense, because Saturn retrograde is no nonsense in the 9th house. And that's what I am. And like I said, you do see people benefiting from it, but some people just don't like it because they feel it's coming on too strong or whatever else. But I wouldn't be coming on too strong if people's doing what they're supposed to. So it's more like your teacher trying to motivate you. And one thing I don't do, because I know the worst mistake you can make is hold people's hands and stuff like that. Because if you start holding their hand, they're gonna keep on expecting it. So they gotta kind of know this is what it is, and that's how it is. And I'm gonna keep doing it. And you'll have people that they don't appreciate it at first, but time will go by, and then they'll say, "Now I understand why you did what you did." You know, because had I listened to you, I wouldn't have jumped into this relationship, and the man beat the shit out of me, almost killed me. If I had to listen to you and just slow down, you know, I really regret it. I really regret, you know, being so headstrong with you. And that ain't the first time I heard stuff like that. Because it was one female. I was always warning females what not to do. Don't do this. Don't trust people. You can't trust nobody. Just because you think you know somebody don't mean you know. And don't be alone with somebody. I don't care what you're. Boom, boom, boom. And then one time I got an email from a female that she was always listening to me. And then something bad had happened to her. But the reason why she felt the need to email me, because she knew I had been warning females, don't do this, don't do that. So she knew what not to do and what to do, but she thought she could do it and get a, you know, she'd be okay. And unfortunately, it went bad for her. So I get emails with people telling me, you know, you help me. You ain't gonna help people holding their hand and being nice. That's little baby shit. Oh, I might do what you tell me to if you make me feel good. You're not no little ass kid. You're a grown ass adult. That's what the problem is. You need to grow up. So you got to have that. And that's why people love Pac, though. Like I said, the same people talk crazy, the same people bombing Pac. And Pac was always telling people the truth, whether they wanted to hear it or not. Because you ain't going to make no change. You ain't going to be no spark trying to be everybody's friend. And that's the difference. That's the main difference between a Leo and Aquarius. He's trying to be everybody's friend. I'm not trying to be everybody's friend. Like if you ain't believing what I believe to be true, we don't need to talk. Because I know we're at the end of an age, and you can't just do what you want to. You got to start bringing yourself in harmony with these angels. Just like read the book of Sodom, read Genesis chapter 19. Them angels came down, and those angels told those people what to do, and they wouldn't listen. Just like if you take an angel card reading, the angel just told you to be patient. Work on yourself, and you're going to keep on rebelling anyway, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. And then the first thing they try to do is overthrow you, and that's what she's trying to do. So then you got to take your stand against the opposition, and you got to put your trust in the Most High God. And then stand back and see the salvation of the Lord. All right. It's all a spiritual warfare. Now, so that in that house, you're going to have a significant meeting. It may be with the same person, and it probably is, because this is all third house Gemini energy. So that's a significant meeting. So we're going to see if they have it, but they may not. Mars conjunct vertex. All right, let's see Mars. All right, let's do this. We're gonna try cafe astrology. All right, just give me a second. There's a lot of information. Because I was trying to put it on a Word document to make the text size bigger so that it's easier to read, but this is so much information that it may give me a hard way to go. So let me just look at this again. I want to make sure I got everything on this page. All right. All right. So first we'll do Mars conjunct vertex. Others may push your buttons easily. You have to develop a tact and charm to overcome this. You could attract aggressive or assertive people, which may be to your benefit if you handle it well. Some people with this aspect, such as policemen, carry weapons. Use your own assertiveness to get things you want. But you got to take it as a whole. This is all about communications, and it's also about the person you're going to meet. That's the vertex, possibly your soulmate. And it's taking you back to your third house. So you got to, everything I'm saying, you got to be able to put it into perspective. Come on, man. Give me a moment. Now it's doing some other stuff. Give me a moment. Because it's just a lot of information, so the cursor's acting real funny. Come on, it's really getting on my last nerve, bro. Give me a second. All right, here we go again. All right, so that's what they're basically saying. All right, so you read that. We read that. Now we wanna try to find some type of connection to Gemini. Vertex in Gemini, you are expected to bring your ability to communicate or write to the fore and to use hardcore facts to clarify situations. Now I want you to know, because she said, let me tell you what happened with her. Because I got all this crazy stuff going on. Chick lying on me, calling me all kind of shit that I'm not and shit. I worked my whole life to be 100% transparent. This broad is going to lie on me. And they try to treat me like I'm a criminal. And they're doing stuff that they legally can't have a right to do. You understand what I'm saying? Why lie? Why not just tell the truth? You got a reading, you ain't like it, that's what it is. At least you be dealing with the truth. But what this female didn't know, she didn't know all that was going on. So she was trying to send me stuff through her phone, and something was going wrong. So her phone kept sending the same message, and it kept saying, "I want to thank you for all the work you do. You help a lot of people. You're telling the truth. You're telling like it really is. Like you're really helping a lot of people. Like what you're doing." But that's for her too. Gemini, the vertex in Gemini is saying, don't be watering shit down. That's why shit's fucked up now. Because that's Sodom and Gomorrah all over. And that's what's happening now. That's why they was calling this country Sodom and Gomorrah. Because you got people that want to keep watering it down, watering it down, watering it down. And every time it gets a little bit tough, fuck it. All right, my wife acting up. And I can't find a date. Well, my friend Dave is sexy. Next thing you know, this dude turned out. Now Steve used to be Steve, but now he's Easy Eve and all kind of crazy shit going on. So my point is, but that's because they don't want to deal with shit. Oh, men get on my nerves, so they don't want to deal with it. Like they just running, and that's what all these people are doing. Oh, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go run tell. Oh, I'm gonna get you in trouble. All right, trying to break you down and make you what they want. No, you're not gonna break me down and make me what you want me to be. Like if that's what you want to be, I'm not mad at you, but you're not gonna make me be what I want to be. How about you toughen up a little bit? How about you learn how to, the same angel cards you don't want to listen to, they would be the same angel cards helping you with power when you see yourself in need of power. You turn to spirit, spirit gives you power. But you're lonely. You're the one talking about, well, am I lonely? Oh, me and so separated. Oh, why don't I have no kids? Well, look at the way you act. Look at the way you act. That's the first place to start. Of why all that shit you just got, why you in separation, why you ain't got no kids, and why you directing all that BS in your life to my life. I ain't never had no trouble from none of these people before that your crazy ass came. You see my point? Now they say, well, you could have changed it. I know I could have, but the Divine Mother told me not to. So I had to put my thing. And then anybody think I'm lying, just go to the channel Real Life and Metaphysics. This shit was in the making. They've been telling me we was going to have this showdown. And the same day, right before, that's when the Divine Mother showed up. And she hadn't been around for a while, so I knew it was something important to her. And then it was her and the Fool card. And that's what she's sending the Fool on a mission that he don't know nothing about. But she says, trust me, that's what your tarot card is all about. So I knew this was, they were telling me to take this mission. And I say, yeah, I was down for it. But I'm not putting the glory on me because I can't do nothing without spirit. I wouldn't have took it because my common sense would have said, let this old crazy lady get out of here. Let this old crazy, she's nuts. I know she's nuts. I'm trying to help this one. You can't help her. That's what I should have said. But they wanted it. And I was like, yeah, I'm down with it. Because sometimes you got to, like, when Satan be shaking your boat, you got to stand up while he in the storm and jump up and down. Like, you think you going to sink me, Satan? The devil is a liar. And you jumping up and down in that boat. And he's looking at you like, he should be scared. It's a storm going on. The whole boat is shaking. And this idiot just got up jumping it because he's not scared of you. Just like when you read the book of Jonah, even though that's just the Bible, you don't know if that story is true. But you're missing the point of what it's directing. I know God's true. Now, in the book of Jonah, that shit was shaking. All those people were scared. And they said, what can we do to stop this shit from shaking? Jonah said, throw me overboard. They said, throw you overboard? It's a storm. And those people they had more heart than God, because God was the one shaking the ship up and all that. And those people said, no matter how much this ship shake, we not gonna throw no life over the board. So they was willing to die for Jonah. And he said, no, just throw me over. Everything's good. And they threw him over. You think of how many times Paul been in shipwrecks? Everybody else is terrified. Paul is chilling. How many times I've been in car wrecks where I should be dead? I'm still sitting here laughing. So you gotta understand you're in spiritual warfare. Now I know you might just see it as a hobby. Oh, LOL. But I can't teach it that way. But you can still bend, like you can take it any way you want to. But if you come to me, I gotta teach it the way it's written. I'm not watering down shit. That's why people get themselves in trouble. Their lifestyle all fucked up. All the crazy shit you see. I ain't gotta spread it. I ain't gotta explain it. Look at the local news. Go to Yahoo News. You be like, is that a man? Is that a woman? Is that what the hell? What is that? Dude look like a lady. And then you're the problem. See, I'm the problem for bringing it up, because you're not supposed to bring it up. Or if somebody says, hey, I want to cut my face up. Now her lips are over here, but you're not supposed to say that. Or the breast is all upside down and flop, but you're not supposed to say that. So they're not interested in truth. They're not interested in you, and they don't care about God because they can just make him up. We serve a loving God. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. Don't read the Bible. Or you can read the Bible, but still you can still do whatever you want to. Our God is good. He forgives us. So they done made everything up. They got plastic for chest, plastic for lips, fake ass eye. Look at somebody, hey, what type of eyes you got? Oh, I just put them in this morning. They change your eyes like you change tires on a car. They don't stop, but that's what happens with deception. It's going to keep going and going and going and going and going, like the Energizer Bunny. So somebody got to say something, because that's why everything is, energetically speaking, everything is going downhill. And that's what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's why the morale is lower in country. All this stuff is low because of these reasons I'm talking about. And anytime you can, like I said, now Raptor News said some very cruel things about that poor girl that they said died, only 19. And immediately I stepped to him. But I ain't seen him. Ever since I stepped to him, I ain't seen him, because I told him to go on hiatus. Get his shit together. And I ain't seen dude online. He used to be online every day. 2 or 3 videos a day. So he been going. So I don't know if he followed my advice. It looked like he did. But if he did, I'm glad he did. And I hope he comes back, because he had a really good channel. He was getting too crazy and very mean-spirited and nut. Time for you to take a hiatus, bro. Because you talking crazy. You online too much. So what if I had backed down on that? Oh, I'm afraid to talk. Oh, he might report me. Oh, I'm so scared. Then how the hell you going to be a teacher? You scared to death. That's why I could never be in no church. I'd be laughing at these punks. Like, you scared to death. You supposed to be a leader. All this stuff going on and you ain't taking no. The real guy going to come and smack the shit out your punk ass. And then you hear all these storms and stuff. I wonder why. Wonder why. Funny how, like I said, let's keep it 100. Then I'm going to move on. But let me say this. You can say whatever you want, because I know you ain't going to give credit where credit's due. But funny, just over a year ago, they wasn't talking about no Jesus in government. Just over a year ago, they was talking all this anti-God stuff, and they hated Christians. Now, I'm not saying Christians is the right way, but at least what they generally represent, trusting God and putting God first, even if they don't do it themselves. But that idea is the way it's supposed to be. Spirit come first. We come second. They guide us. We don't guide spirit. If you see anybody trying to guide spirit, that's like a demonic person. Because they're not war. Jesus said you're either for me or against me. And again, when I say Jesus, I'm not talking about go to church. I'm talking about metaphysically speaking. The Bible is probably one of the most powerful metaphysics books on the planet. Not saying it's the only one, but it's a metaphysics. You got to get past all that allegory stuff and realize what it's pointing to. That's when you start getting to the higher levels of spirituality, where you stop talking that spookism. But it's still a powerful book. So the point I'm making is, they ain't talking about Jesus. They talking all this crazy stuff. They basically making you feel like they're about to lock your ass down. And you see it going on all over the world. They just locking Christians down. All this stuff going on. But a guy like me came out, and I always stayed true to what I believe. I was never worrying about these. Since I came here, I wasn't been worrying about. I knew at some point it would probably be a situation with me and them. Because they was going to preach that demonic crazy shit. And somebody got to remind this planet there is a God. And there is a God that's going to do what he's going to do. Just because he's patient don't mean he ain't gonna act. So kind of funny how when I came out with my vibrations or whatever, and whatever it did, because the spoken word is powerful. And if your spoken word wasn't powerful, they wouldn't mess with your channel. They wouldn't mess with your numbers. They wouldn't record everything you're saying. But they are. So they must see you as something, because they wouldn't waste their time on you if they didn't see you as a threat. They could care less about your numbers. They could care less what you say. But the fact that they're doing it, they see you as some type of threat. And they're just waiting. Because they got all the information. And when they say round these people up, then they come for you. But we're not scared of that. We feel the Lord. Oh, I do. I speak for myself. Now, finally, but it's funny how after I came out, all of a sudden, now you had somebody that stepped into the White House talking about Jesus. Jesus is going to protect you. Now, this is at the inaugural speech. Don't be afraid. Jesus is going to protect you. Now, just months earlier, wasn't nobody talking about no Jesus from the White House. Not like that. I don't know when was the last time when I heard a president say Jesus is going to protect you. So, the point I'm trying to make to y'all, something changed. Now, I'm not saying nobody's a good guy or bad guy, because I'm higher in spirituality. Everything is on its course. And then other stuff you've seen since ministries like mine came out. Now more stuff like Tupac talked about the truth. Tupac talked about standing up to social injustice. A lot of stuff Tupac talked about in '93 is becoming a reality now, because people came out with that vibration. He said he would be the spark that changed the world. Obviously he is. And I'm going to tell you, when I came out and I was learning what I was learning, the Divine Mother let me know, until I acknowledged Tupac, who he was, she wasn't going to give me my gifts. Because I just thought he was another Negro with a big mouth and got shot the fuck up. I wasn't really, I like, man, you always yelling about somebody trying to get you. Why don't you just be quiet? That's how I used to say about Pac. Pac, man, why don't you just be quiet? You always starting shit. Like the same shit they say about 50, they used to say about Pac. All you do is start shit. But he wasn't just starting shit. He was like when you throw a rock in the water and the waves go, and it say it increase, or you roll something down a hill and get bigger and bigger and bigger and faster and faster and faster. That's what Tupac did. So now we at the point now where that stuff is resonating. And that's what I'm trying to tell. So you could say ministries like this didn't have a part in what you see right now, but they did. And that's why that girl cursed me out. Because she went off on me. And I'm trying to say, why is she so mad at me? But she's lesbian. No disrespect, because you can love whoever you want to. I'm not mad at you. But why are you getting so angry about it? I like to be straight. But she went off on me. She said all this stuff. You did this. And, you stupid. I tried to show you the truth. You don't want to accept it. And you naive and all this other stuff. And Trump ain't going to do shit for you. And blah, 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 blah. And all this other stuff. And then I realized, well, I serve God. I don't care what Trump or somebody else do. But you're losing your mind. You're losing your mind. Just like this other guy. You're losing your mind. You're letting this world cause you to lose your mind. But see, he listened. Apparently. Or somebody came and got his ass. Because he said some reckless. See, where I'm from, you could have never said it. Like, you would have got punched in your face. As soon as you said that shit, she's dead. Calling her a whore and shit. What's wrong with you, man? You would have got punched dead in your face right then and there. That's why I let him know exactly who I was. I let that nigga know I wasn't playing. Like, dude, take a, I just told him how, like, take a hiatus, bro. Get back into the word, bro, because you talking crazy. I don't care if the world was going to end right now. You still don't be saying crazy stuff. If God want to judge somebody, then let God do what God do. But don't you do it. You're not God. You can't be saying with that. You wasn't there. You don't know nothing about that girl other than what the newspaper said. That's none of your business. Brother, either show some sympathy for her or leave it alone. So I'm here to keep doing what I do as long as I can do it. And if God shut me down, then it was just my time. Because I used to write. I wasn't on YouTube. I didn't even want to be on YouTube because I already did television back in '98. But then God, just like he pushed me here. That's why when that person shows up and they bring trouble into your life, you got to realize, can't nobody do nothing that God ain't allowing. So maybe it's time to do something else. That's how you got to look at it. Now, I'm not mad at her because I know she got issues. But you got to be ready to move when God say move. But you also, the Bible says you should always be ready to speak. And what I'm trying to tell you is I understand the metaphysical power of the Bible, but I also have a higher understanding of the spirit and metaphysics. That's all. And that's what this whole 8th house is about Gemini. So it says you are expected to bring your ability to communicate or write to the fore and to use hardcore facts. See, didn't tell you to be soft. They didn't tell you to say, oh, you know, we all have an opinion. Use hardcore facts to clarify situations. So they don't want you to be no puppet. That's why you got all that Scorpion and Pluto power. People expect you to come up with ideas and present them clearly, speak, write, or instruct, debate your own viewpoint. And maybe that's why you got that Mars there, so you can really bring it. Because that Mars is with the vertex. And gain a position as a spokesperson. So that's what they're raising you up at. And ironically, that's where you're going to meet this guy in the 3rd house, which is ruled by Gemini. And you got the vertex in Gemini. And they put Mars there just in case you got to get a little ugly. Like right now, Mars is in Leo. So anyway, when she sent that message came to me like 9 times. And it kept saying, thank you for all your hard work. You're saying what needs to be said. Stuff like that. So doing these things that I just read may improve your ability to get your ideas across to others because you learn to choose your words carefully and have the facts to back them up. And that's what I always do. You also gain the confidence to speak out because you have developed communication skills and maintained a youthful curiosity. But where did you get your youthful curiosity? Back to your 3rd house with Neptune, the idealistic. So you're working on that powerful Gemini energy and then tying in with Scorpio energy and then taking you to the 1st house, but also wherever you see Aries, that house as well. Because the 1st house is ruled by Aries. In short, you are well prepared with facts when tested. Not developing these skills allows you to generalize to go off on a tangent, losing the point you were trying to make. So they say you have to do that. You may avoid research and fail to achieve mental flexibility and clarity. See, what I'm saying, nobody just says, they don't say I don't know what I'm talking about. They just say they don't like how I deliver. But nobody says, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. They just say, oh, I don't like how he delivered. Or why has he got to be like that? Because that would be true if you just went in a rant and you were just going off, but you wasn't having no facts, no references, or making no point. It would sound like you're crazy. But I think anytime you go off in any type of excitement or rant, they're going to say you're crazy if they're not really listening. But some people really be listening. Say, oh, you may get hung up on a single goal instead of developing the diversity you need. So those said you got to develop the skills that we just talked about so you don't get hung up on a single goal instead of developing the diversity you need. All right, so that is your 8th house. Everything's there. Oh yeah, now Vesta, you gotta watch because Vesta is all your energy. So you gotta watch everything I just said about your 8th house because you gotta know when to take breaks and take diversions. Because if not, you're going to burn out. That's your energy. But Vesta is also connected to your furnace, your heater, any electricity, your engine in your car, or if you like small compartments, like in a small room, that's Vesta. Or if you went to they threw you in a jail cell, that would be Vesta. But she's a spiritual. She's like Virgo. She works with Virgo. She's a spiritual priestess, but they say she can have a highly sexual side as well. Now we already did your 9th house, all about family and healing and travel and philosophy. Even if it's just reading books about foreign stuff, but it's still travel. Now Leo and your 10th house. In order to understand that, you have to say, well, where's Leo at in your chart? Leo's in your 5th house. It rules your 5th house. And there's Aquarius. So there again is that teacher. And then that's Saturn, because Saturn represents Capricorn, which represents career. And your 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, means career, or Saturn. So what you really want to know is Jupiter retrograde. Well, but I hope they... Alright. See, I want to see a website that says it. See, they give me Jupiter. They're giving me Jupiter and Leo. I really want Jupiter, and the one that is giving me Jupiter in retrograde, I don't want to use it because a lot of times they're just real negative. Jupiter retrograde. All right. So let me do it another way. All right. We'll go right in. Jupiter is one of the two social planets. The other social planet is Saturn. Jupiter can affect people in a very holistic or healing manner. This retrograde causes society to reevaluate ethics. So that's kind of letting you know the type of job you're going to have. And you're going to be a leader in it because Leo. But Leo is also romantic, childlike children, travel, fun, anything that's fun, taking risks. Competition. That's all on Leo. Spiritual beliefs and positions are questioned when Jupiter is retrograde. Laws and acceptable or unacceptable behaviors are reevaluated. So that's what you're going to be doing in your 10th house. Jupiter's retrograde reminds us we're all interconnected as a society, culture, and people. So we try to see, it's the brotherhood. You might as well just go ahead and say the brotherhood. So that's the third time they said that. Community as a whole. So you start to reevaluate things that you, just to make sure. Well, this is what we thought about this years ago. What do we think about it now? So you're going to start changing stuff like we said. Now we keep talking about travel. So they keep implying that travel is going to help you with your healing. Jupiter is also a ruler of travel because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. When in retrograde, travel plans are often adversely affected. Even the best plans can fall apart. Luggage can be lost. Means of transportation can develop mechanical problems, and reservations can be mixed up or canceled. So if Jupiter is retrograding your chart, searching for ethics, values, and fairness is probably a strong part of your personality. You seek truth and look for deeper meaning in life. Scientific or philosophical research may be of great interest. You may shun spiritual beliefs and feel a lack of respect for those who have strong sense of spirituality in their lives. But not having this type of spiritual connection in your life makes you feel flat and sometimes empty. So you might have a problem with so-called spiritual people because you don't think they're really doing anything. They're just talking the talk but not walking the walk. But at the same time, some of you still want to be spiritual, but you just don't want to be a lame spiritual person. You probably feel bogged down or boxed in by routine, rituals, or blind faith. You continually question the latest fads or intellectual thought, only to feel disappointed in the end. You're looking for that perfect spiritual path with intellect, hoping to find the right balance between the two. From a past life perspective, there may have been a lifetime when you were persecuted for your spiritual or ethical beliefs. This experience has probably left you feeling uneasy about embracing anything larger than yourself out of fear of another existence of persecution. You may be concerned about showing your wisdom, feeling fearful of responsibility, or for jeopardizing the positions of those who listen to you. To overcome this lesson, learn to listen to your inner voice or intuition. So they say skepticism might be good, but too much of anything is not good. So they say you have to find balance. They say you might take a little step towards meditation. If you don't like spirituality or spiritual path, just realize that there are scientific benefits to meditation. So when you do meditate, take time to listen to your inner voice, and you might find the perfect path you're looking for. Okay, so that's in your 10th house. All right. Now in your 11th house, it's all about friends, association, groups. And that 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. But your moon deals with your subconscious, your psyche, and you got Virgo. And Virgo deals with your 6th house. And that's all about healing and home, service, children, animals. So your 11th house is like serving the people. And you see the number 9 and the number 9, which is good. So this is something that's deep inside of you with that moon. Is serving the people. So we know Virgo is service. So the main thing we want here is Pallas retrograde. Okay, Pallas retrograde signals the time to review current needs for social reform in areas of government, feminine equality, social issues. So again, you're using friends, associations, and groups to really try to do service and bring healing to like people who need it, like even children, anyone who needs it, anyone who needs it, women, social reforms. So this person's gonna be very active. And now Libra in the 12th house. And I'm hoping I can get this answer from astrologyclub.org. There is a lot of emotional and spiritual sensitivity in this placement. You are usually pretty good at meeting partners who awaken your emotional and spiritual energies and or needs. You may be very intuitive and may even be psychic. And everything we said about your 8th house, your 1st house, that's definitely like gonna be psychic, and probably your 3rd house too. Intuitive and psychic, and even when it comes to others. But in order to maintain your intellectual objectivity and fairness, and in some cases your sanity, you often hide your abilities or deny them to keep them at bay. You tend to idolize partnerships a great deal, and that goes back to the obsessive compulsive or codependent. You tend to idolize partners a great deal, which often leaves you emotionally vulnerable to others and leads you to some pretty major emotional disappointments as a result. As a result, you either blame yourself for relationships not working out, or you play victim to others and blame them for falling short when your ideals are not met. However, because you tend to be so hyper aware of others' sensitivities, you are more likely apt to send your own sense of self into disarray in order to accommodate the feelings about you and your life. All right, so that's something to be mindful in that 12th house. So again, so we did it all. What to look out for, what not to look out for, house by house, gave information. Now a person who takes information, takes notes and everything. And when you learn how to organize it, have a section for finances, a section for emotions, a section for codependency, obsession, and then you know what house to go to and all that. So it definitely does work. I designed it that way. That's why I was shocked when so many people act like, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. No, you understand. You're just lazy. You just don't want to write. You don't want to study. And somehow you think I can do it all. And that's just sorry, because I can't. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to do it all, because I'm not you. You have to get this information in you and apply it. And when I say you, I'm talking about everybody. Alrighty. Give me a moment. I'm looking for one more thing. All right. So again, if anybody sees anything out here that you like to do, you can contact me. Really, anything that's intuitive, native. And the one thing about the natal chart, if you only have your natal chart, but you still want to ask me about relationships and everything is on your chart. You just saw me do it, so everything is on your chart. A lot of stuff. A lot of times when you take the angel cards, they bring out more on your chart. But you got to just really work with it. The system does work. You just got to really work with it. That's all. Numerology, name numerology, birthday numerology, anything with numerology, any form of research. So you can contact me. A lot of information is in that description box. And some people, they get started right away. They just go to the description box, go right to PayPal. And then other people, you can contact me because I have the list as well. The services offered and the pricing. All right. God bless.